Wait for it. Wait for it. Ooh, and we're live. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, that's a man bun, you see. Yeah, that's a man bun.
Is
It's
it a
horsehair.
bun or is it a
It's not
poof?
real.
It's
It's not
poof.
real. So today we will be interviewing a lovely lady by the name of Alycen, and she's got quite the story. Let me tell you. Dang, I'm not in
Stories.
gotta get in
Stories.
the view of the. Oh my gosh! Hold on. No one's gonna take me serious. Now they will. Okay.
Now they will.
Now you guys are gonna take me serious. The glasses just got
Is
on.
that's the prerequisite for being serious?
That's the only way they know I'm serious.
Is that so? Should I do this?
Oh my god! Oh, it's serious now. It's real serious. Oh yeah, tip it a little. I can't tip mine. Matter of
You
fact,
can't tip yours because you're not cool.
I don't even have the.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah, it ain't going so good for me. So, before we go any further, let me shout out Miss Ann Horn. She's not doing so well, you guys. It's not looking good. She's got hospice coming. I'm not gonna go into full details or anything like that, but hopefully she'll be able to talk to us soon. And
Yeah.
just life is moving extremely fast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's going real fast.
Yeah.
So what's been going on with the Juju?
I had a semi-hectic day. Son's got a soccer tournament, and I had to take the puppy to the vet to get her boosters. And she's doubled in size, although she doesn't look like it. So carrying her is not easy.
Lovely.
But the next visit, hubby's going with me. He's going to have to carry her between my purse and everything else and trying to pay. And she can't touch the floor because of parvo. It's a little... I'm going to blow an O-ring.
What's up, Nada? How's it going?
Hey.
Shout out to White Widow. Uh-oh. Shit.
What'd you do?
Wait. I forgot to put my headphones on.
So you can't hear us?
I just hooked me up with something, I think. I don't know. Something just happened. All right, stop. Yo, what is happening?
What are you talking about?
Okay. No, stuff is going crazy on my computer right now. Maybe you guys can't see it.
It's not going crazy on our side.
All right, there we go. Computers has a mind of its own right now. It's just playing all types of music that it shouldn't be right now. It's insane. All right, let me make sure all my audio is correct. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Oh, if you guys are not subbed up to Juju's channel, please do. Somebody could drop the link. That'd be great. Ooh, when I took my head for it, looks like I got a mohawk.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank God that's not the case.
Yo, okay, so we are doing an interview that has a lot to do with rock and roll. So let me tell you, as a kid, I had an older sister who was into heavy metal and punk rock, and more than anything as a kid, I wanted to be a punk rocker. That's it. That's all I knew I wanted to be. Any of my drawings from like 6 years old to 10, long hair, earrings, cool ass dudes, with guitars, and I just wanted that so bad. So bad. I don't know why. And I can remember getting in trouble with my mom, and I'd go to my room and I'd draw sad punk rockers that time. And
you probably did too.
And I'm not joking. This is no joke. I swear to you, because my sister, I just idolized her because she was just so cool, and she had a jacket with like 9,000 pins in it for no reason, and rips for no fucking reason, and this sleeve was just gone, for I don't know, and and she had orange hair, and the back of it was shaved, and it was like blue or something. And that was the coolest shit ever to me. I was like, I need that.
You
I need
needed to be a punk writer. Okay. Well, that
yeah, but
explains a lot.
She was doing that in the she was in the Air Force. So I'm not sure how much punk rocking she actually did in the Air Force. Maybe a lot. I don't know. But
who knows?
I don't know. I just know I needed that. And I'm sure our guest is going to be able to
tell you what it would have been like if you would have made it.
Hey, it's not too late.
You're only 27. You got plenty of time.
It's not too late. I'm 37. Okay, jeez.
47.
I appreciate you giving me a little youth there, but oh wait, I just realized I got my copyright. I don't need that going. Yeah, we don't need that.
No,
we don't need that. As a matter of fact, I meant to get that picture of what it looks like and possibly digging or scratching. Maybe I was going to use that as the logo.
Stop. No.
Only because she found it funny after a while, not right away, but yeah, she did find it funny. So, all right. Anything else going on with you?
Nope. I'm ready to get into this.
A lot of flat earthing, huh? Yes. Yep. Go ahead and say it. Yep. She said yes. Flat earthing.
I'm still not convinced. He's trying so hard.
Dude.
I go back and forth. It's not flat.
The earth is flat. We're going to be asking Alycen about that. So don't worry about that. We'll get around to it. Maybe not right away or immediately.
It'll be the first question you ask her.
It will be for sure.
Alycen, if you can hear us, just say it's flat so he doesn't kick you out.
Don't.
Say it's flat. Can everybody just say the earth is flat in chat so he can calm down?
It is flat. Everybody knows it's flat. Not everybody, but you will know eventually. You will know eventually. But without further ado, you guys, let's get today's special guest going. And that is a lovely young lady. Rumor has it she won 2 basketball tournaments when she was in 2nd grade. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, she was supposed to get dressed. No, I'm just making this up. Let me stop.
I was like, why are you talking about me?
It sounded so good at first. You guys don't believe it. Anyway, Miss Alycen, everybody.
Hello. I actually did win a couple basketball tournaments.
He always makes us go too long. Oh,
anyway. Oh, perfect timing.
Wait, it's hello.
Uh-oh.
The earth is not flat.
Oh, you president. I'm out of here.
We do a lot of joking.
Funny thing is, though, is I actually did win a couple basketball tournaments my freshman year. Yeah, I used to play basketball and ran track.
I love basketball and volleyball.
And the earth is flat as well. So
why do we call it running around the world?
We don't.
I do.
This is the thing. No one's ever actually done it, though. That's the thing.
Jeez Louise, we're getting off track already.
What do you mean? We're on track. This is what this live is about.
He's bringing him back up for his flat.
Absolutely. Oh, boy. Where do we begin? Well, if you could, go ahead and introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't know you.
Well, my name is Alycen Rowse. I've spent a lot of my life hanging out with rock stars, rap stars, actors, couple crown princes, maybe a politician or two. Most notorious for being the woman that was with John Entwistle, the bass player of The Who, when he died. Don't believe any of those rumors that you hear. None of them are true. But yeah, that's kind of lived my life around rock and roll for a long time and wrote a book, working on a 2nd book, have a YouTube channel, talk about it in a way you've never heard groupies talk about rock and roll, like from a realistic point.
Mm-hmm. From y'all's viewpoint of how it was for you. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. So Give us of course, a lot of us already, well, not a lot of us. I know because I have been researching the shit out of you. But tell us about how you got started in this whole lifestyle.
It was, it was kind of an accident. You fall in love with music as a kid, right? You go into your brother's room, steal his albums, decide which one you're going to marry, and
Mhm.
you look at these guys and you find a fascination with them. And I just let my fascination kind of go. And I used to be part of the Masons. There's a female side, and you start off as the Rainbow Girls. And you do a lot of traveling to different conventions. And we were a convention at Kansas City, Missouri. And so was Van Halen at the same time. I mean, we're talking hot David Lee Roth Van Halen, not now creepy Uncle Van Halen, but hot David Lee Roth. And was sitting in a hot tub one night with a bunch of friends drinking virgin margaritas and daiquiris, and in jumped David Lee Roth. And I saw an opportunity. And I was like, all right. I see you. And then my parents got a divorce in 1985. We happened to move to Salt Lake City, Utah, which, believe it or not, in the 80s was the groupie capital of the world.
1 second. So you lost your virginity to David Lee Roth?
I sure did.
Crazy.
I sure did. It was a conscious choice. Like I said, I lived in a small town of 500 people in Missouri. Some small town inexperienced boy versus David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth every time.
Now, how did you get to that mindset? Like, I don't know. I was not thinking about, I don't know what I was thinking about. I guess I just decided to do it one time, and I wasn't thinking. I guess in my young, naive brain, I thought, well, sex is just good. So it doesn't matter who it's with or where it happens. Yeah. It's going to be great because of what we see in the movies. So how did you decide that you didn't want a normal deflowering versus a rock star?
My best friends in the small town, I was like one of the last ones to kind of do any messing around. When they were like, oh, it's okay. I wasn't stellar. Hopefully it'll get better. And like I said, I didn't really have a boyfriend. There was not really an option at the time, except maybe a drunken night with my best friend's boyfriend's best friend type of thing.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking about it. In school at the time, we had the movies that we had to watch about different parts of becoming a woman or becoming a man, stuff like that. And something about sex intrigued me. Music just was a natural, love for the music, and it just kind of combined in one. And David Lee Roth is like, hey, you want to come back to my room? I'm like, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Did he know you were a virgin when this happened? Did
not
he know?
Until years later.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that he would have done it any differently if he knew you were a virgin? Made it?
No. Honestly, I do not think David Lee Roth would have taken that opportunity to do that. No, I don't think he would have had he known.
Oh, he wouldn't have. I just wondered, would he have made it sweeter?
He might have he probably would have gotten to know me a few times, tried to see me on the road a few times, and then done it, but not wham bam, I just met you 2 hours ago. And a lot of people do that at the bar. You meet 2 hours ago, you go home, right? I just chose to go home with him.
That's crazy. So what year was this that you and
1985.
Okay, because I want to see a picture of what David Lee Roth looked like in 1985.
Connie McCotterson.
Was he? Let me look.
Him and Robert Plant were the epiphany of rock gods. Blonde lead singing rock gods.
Oh.
See?
So
small town boy, 1985 David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
When you first type him in, it brings for some reason it goes David Lee Roth suspect, and it brings up something about all his multiple arrests, which is weird. Just give me a picture.
I'm sending you a picture of the first one that popped up from 1985, David Lee Roth.
Uh-oh. Sure.
I mean, he wasn't bad looking. I personally, and you're probably going to hate me for this, the 80s is my least favorite era, period.
No, I don't hate you for that. It's not my favorite era either.
Yeah.
I mean, every era has its different look, and we had a lot of, Sharon of the eyeliner and spandex and stuff, but
Yeah.
you kind of grew up like grunge and thrash metal were more of my favorite looking guys at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like it was I don't know, it was the big hair and the abundance of makeup or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just looked weird.
Hey, David Lee.
So this is what he looked like essentially when you met him.
Yep, pretty much. His hair was a little longer and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Look at those
How
abs.
old was he?
I have no idea. I did not care. I just saw those abs and I went, I really think I like those.
I want to wash my clothes on them.
And when you hooked up with him, you were how old?
Close to 15.
Close to 15. All right. So then moving on from David Lee Roth, which was your okay, so but I remember a story about why you decided you wanted to be a groupie. You were at a concert and saw some stuff.
I saw a couple girls who I got to know later, my first concert when we moved to Salt Lake City, my first concert ever, because I didn't go to the concert when I met David Lee Roth, as you normally would.
Right.
But because I had my other things to do, the charity stuff that we had to do with the Rainbow Girls. But,
right. You said that you were in the Rainbow Girls and y'all went to like a convention or y'all's version of like a debutante ball.
Basically, yeah, it's the female sides of the Masons. It's a philanthropic society,
right?
So and I had already spent a few years traveling without my parents at this point. I mean, we're Gen X, we were feral kids. We were so without, our parents were like, go outside and play.
Yeah, and
they had no idea where outside we were going, but we did.
Yeah.
So it was just, it just seemed to make, for me, it made sense. I just felt comfortable there. And then we moved to Salt Lake City. I had always wanted to be around music somehow, some way. I always knew I would be because I loved it so much. And I wanted to be at the eye of the storm. I wanted to explore everything it had to offer, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
When we moved to Salt Lake City, the groupie capital of the world, and I saw these two girls walking by with their big hair and their leather blue dresses, and I'm like, where are they going? They're like backstage. I'm like, what's backstage? What? We must know about this.
Yes.
And then when you walked into that first concert and you just see everybody, the roadies putting things together and like the sound check and the people and the vibe and the lighters going and joints being passed. And, the guy's like, do you want to come backstage? You're like, as a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah, let's go.
And that was very common. I interview a lot of other groupies and we all have kind of the same story.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically like your version of a little girl's dream. You wanted in that inner circle.
Yeah. And in the 80s, it was hedonism, and you could experiment and be free and not be judged in that circle as to where you're going to go back to your high school and people are like, there's a school slut. Well, it's like, I'm not sleeping with anybody here. How can you say I'm the slut?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And the man gun's gone. Okay, so good. Then you moved to Salt Lake City, and I remember, like I said, I've been trying to listen to your book for a while now, and it's honestly in my ear because I don't want my kids to hear it, right? And it's not like I'm just like I've got a 14-year-old daughter. I don't
let my family hear it, so it's all good.
Does your family aware of all this?
Oh yeah.
What do they say about it?
You know what? I've lived a very lucky life that I have never had to hide anything about myself. Nobody has any dirty secrets to hold over me. It's extremely freeing, and I've been able to be open with my family. It's kind of the family joke,
Yeah.
But I have an awesome, supportive family, and when I needed it, they were there. If the rock stars called the house after 10 p.m., my mom would bitch them out. Don't you call here after 10 p.m.? I mean, my mom bitched out James Hetfield for Metallica.
I remember that part. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, like, I think I don't know. That's fucking crazy. I guess if the rock star was calling my daughter after 10 o'clock at night, I might have something to say too. But I mean, like, I'd also be like, how the fuck do you have Metallica's lead singer calling our house? Like, how does this happen?
She knew.
Yeah.
Well, because, my family my grandfather was president of of a big mining company that's based out here in Salt Lake City. My mom became a top respected educator in the state and in the nation.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's not that we were totally anonymous, you know?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So did they try to keep it separated since they were in well-to-do positions or whatever? Did
Yeah, I
they,
mean,
like,
yeah,
they
of
knew,
course,
they
but
didn't
I
want you to
think
talk about it?
it was kind of very normal back then to be kind of the wild child of that generation, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, we grew up with movies like Fast Times, 16 Candles. You don't realize how much partying, how much rock and roll, how much everything is going on. I mean, so this was normal to our culture at the time. The first
Right.
scenes of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you have a 16-year-old girl with the 23-year-old car salesman. And not that, you know, I condone that, but for me, I have no regrets or no.
I'm
Well, I
glad that
mean,
you don't. I'm glad you don't, because then that would have been
oh,
something terrible happening.
I thought I was on
Yeah.
camera. I mean, if you know when you're living it, that's one thing. But if somebody were to tell you like this is, I guess it, you know, wouldn't sound the same. It wouldn't
Yeah.
have the same effect, I guess, obviously. So,
Yeah.
ooh, boy. Hmm.
And you have
Did
to
you ever get
realize
put in
it's like
danger?
these are people that I've known for a long time. And no, I've never been in danger with these guys. If anything, I have had these guys protect me. I watched a good roadie friend yank a guy down by the collar from the, you know, right off the floor where the general admission is. You have that first riser.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, look, it's those professional groupies in a derogatory way. And you bet, wham, bam, get kicked out of the back. You don't
Right.
mess with the family.
To
Wow.
that point right there, to that
Mhm.
point, you know, because the word groupie can mean a different thing to somebody else. Usually, to a lot of people, it means just disrespect. Let's, you know,
Yeah.
I can say what I want because that's what they're there for. Now,
Mhm.
what do you have to say to those people?
I think those people have never been backstage and are very brainwashed by a white picket fence that they feel they need to stay behind because they don't have enough conies like the rest of us do to actually live it. We've all sat there with our posters up on the wall looking at that certain someone or, you know, lusting over that car or whatever. I just
Mhm.
went out and did it. Me and my friends, we were just like, well, we're not just going to sit home waiting for it to knock at the door. We're going to go live our lives. I've
Mhm.
traveled the world for free. I've sat on private planes. I have some of the best friends that for 30 years that I have
Mhm.
trusted my life with. And I am here. I am sane. I was always well taken care of. You
That's
know,
good.
we'd lie and be like, oh, I'm camping. I was in Denver with Def Leppard, you know?
That's funny. You were a wild child to say the least.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
I had four older siblings to teach me how to be one. I just perfected it.
there you go. There you go. So moving on from the first time with David Lee Roth, just go forward. Let's get to the next guy.
So I had met a couple other rock stars by then. One of them, my mom honked and was like, "Come on!" I'm like, "Oh, mom."
I remember that story.
Yeah.
I was like, I would
But
have
the
died.
next one was Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, the lead singer,
Mm-hmm.
and he just sort of happened. He was really fun. He taught me because he's also a professional fencer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a pilot, which I ran into him on KLM on my way to the Middle East one time before anybody knew what Dubai was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was the pilot. But yeah, no, we just happened to meet. I wanted to get backstage. So some roadie was like, "Will you do that?" I'm like, "No, no, I don't think so, dude." You know, and Bruce happened to hear it. He's like, "Here's the backstage pass anyway." And we just hit it off and yeah, went to his room. And he was the first rock star to teach me that it's not just about looks and sex. It's about so much more. There's got to be the connection. You've got to be able to have a conversation with someone because turning someone on or being turned on by someone is more than the mini skirt and heels, you know?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and like I said, he taught me how to fence. We were naked and I was like poking at the south area. But
Wait,
not bad. Like he's good. He's an excellent fencer. So
what? Are we using like? Oh no, we can say it now. We don't
No,
have to.
they were literally practice. He was teaching her how to fence, not
yeah,
sex.
like he had all
Like
the special
actual
equipment
fence.
and it had the
I know.
little.
I'm just. I know.
You have your glasses. You're
It was
supposed to
hard
be
because
serious.
I don't mess with the family jewels because I'm going to be playing with those jewels later. I want them in prime condition.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
No, I'm actually in mid. I'm trying to get a different layout to so we can highlight Alycen some more. I think I just finished it. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's look at it. There we go. Okay, that's
go.
better. Jeez,
Ooh, I like it
I was
on
doing the
top.
whole-
I was
She took
just fixing to
forever.
make that joke. She does prefer to be on top.
Oh,
Cowgirl.
damn it! Before I could make
It's
the
the truth,
joke.
though. She said it. I listened to it on the book.
Well,
Hey, I generally tend to enjoy it no matter which way I'm getting it. You got to. If you're going to be doing, you might as well be enjoying it.
What are you drinking?
Oh, Bailey's.
Bailey's straight.
Yeah.
Mm.
I never put more than this in my glass of Bailey's. It's still whiskey.
We're not judging. We're not judging. I promise you that. But I was
Not
just
at all.
wondering.
Yeah, just some Bailey's.
Some Bailey's.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Now, without telling on anybody or telling on yourself, was there extensive drug use?
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, I woke up next to John Entwistle, who did one line, had a heart attack, and died next to me, And yeah, you do see it. Like when we're with Metallica, Lars was in his cocaine years, or, Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode was in his heroin years when I first met him, and you do see it. And it's just, you realize you learn real quick how to be there for the guys, but you can't cure them and you can't change them. You can just be there.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to follow them down their rabbit holes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never got heavy into drugs, so
Yeah. You didn't have to do them to be accepted, is what you're saying.
yeah,
I was
exactly.
going to ask that. Was there any peer pressure? Hey, since you are here with a rock star, you should be
Nope,
honored.
not at all. Not at all. In fact, it was quite opposite. The first night I met Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, yeah, I did a couple lines with him. A bunch of us did. I was new to it. I was like, oh, I want to try it, But when we went back to his hotel, his bass player, Junior, and their tour manager was like, oh, you want some honey oil? I'm like, what is that? Because I didn't know. It was heroin, And Dave saw that I didn't know what it was, and he was like, no, not true. You don't want to do that. In fact, like I said, we were very protected. We were very coddled.
Yeah. That's crazy. So then who's the next one?
Oh gosh, there was David Lee Roth again. There was
Rick James. Oh my God.
Oh, I wish I could have met Rick James. He would have been fun to meet.
Oh. You sure?
No,
That would have been.
I was never in that basement. No.
She went there. I have a question, and this is a girl question, I guess.
I'm out.
Yeah, go ahead and leave. So you have, from what I've surmised, you've been with a lot of different guys, all colors of the rainbow. Are there any truth to the rumors?
Which rumors?
Which
you know what?
Are the biggest and the best?
Not necessarily. I mean, every man is their own man. You know what I mean?
Matter, is what she's saying.
No, it's not the size of the wand; it's the magic in that thing.
I've had
some people surprise me. Some people surprise the heck out of me. I was like, "Dang, it's bigger than I thought it was going to." Then I was like, "Oh."
So there's no correlation to feet, height, body.
No, you know what the secret is? The pinky. What? The pinky. If that man's pinky, if he has large fingers and that man's pinky is as long as his ring finger, you ride that bitch till it falls off. It's big. Never done me wrong.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
That's so weird.
See?
Notice he's not holding up his other finger to see if they're the same height.
They're not. They're not.
Oh,
I can pull my dick out though.
Teeny weeny little bitty short dick man.
Don't want no short dick.
I can.
We have to team up on you for a little bit.
Hey, as long as the mouth is good,
whatever.
So who was your favorite?
Oh, the best rock lover, Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode, lead singer. Oh, that man could flip me upside down, push me up against a hotel wall, break the bed, clean me up with a hotel tower the next morning, and buy me breakfast. And oh yeah,
the whole package.
He dirty hot, yeah.
Really, and the worst.
And he's got a great pinky.
So who was the worst, the most disappointing?
The worst, Brett Michaels. He didn't even make it past the oral stage. I was like,
Oh, not Brett.
yeah, I was like,
Oh,
excuse me, sir, excuse me.
no.
Tap, tap,
What do you-
tap. I'm like,
Did he?
I
Did
think,
he have the
and I went back
bandana
to
on?
I went back to the other hotel and found David Lee Roth.
Again?
Oh, wait. Did Brett have the bandana on or no?
No, this is the early when Poison had first come out and they were opening up for David Lee Roth.
Oh, so he didn't need the bandana then. Okay.
No, this is before the wreck, yeah. And
Oh, no. The baldness is what I'm talking
but
about.
that's
why
why
he wore that.
well, partly baldness, but he also has like a big scar right here that from his bike wreck that doesn't grow hair.
Really?
I thought he was balding before that happened.
I don't know. I only hung out with him like twice in my life because, like I said, the first time I was bored is you realize seriously. I was like, dude, don't bite it.
Oh my God.
Bite it? That's
There
terrible.
were some teeth involved, and I was like, dude, no.
Did he seem surprised at all that you were like,
No.
get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, that kind of surprised him. He wasn't surprised when my roadie friend and I knocked on the door.
Yeah.
But when I was like, you know what, it's just not doing it for me. He was like, what? What? And I was like, see you later. Pulled down my skirt.
Wow. That's nuts.
Got in the hotel shuttle, went to the other hotel, went to David Lee Roth's room. Hey,
I'm here.
So how long was that before the first time you hooked up with them to the second time?
That one was, let me think, 84 to about 86-ish, 87-ish. So just a couple years.
So just
Had you seen him?
Yeah, I'd seen him one or two other times before that.
Yeah. And he remembers you.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
At one point you were talking about this one time you fucked up your routine and you didn't get backstage. So I think you were there with your high school friends and you went and found some random guy and got on his shoulder and like whipped the twins
My
out.
man
And he
Campbell.
was like, come on, come up here. And you're like, I don't know if you remembered me, but I don't really care.
Well, because they weren't in town the night before, because we used to go to the hotel and find the tour buses to see if they were in town the night before the show. And still to this day, if girls want to be a groupie, that's how you still find the band, where the tour buses are, go to the hotel bar. But yeah, they weren't in town the night before. So I'm like, how do I get backstage? So I found some random guy, because back then in the 80s, everybody was on somebody's shoulders. We were all showing our tatas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, come here, man, camel. And so I showed my shit.
And that was
got backstage.
That's awesome.
Nice. Hold me down, Juju.
Okay. So then after David Lee Roth part 2, because Brett Michaels couldn't do the deal. So at what point because I know that the little old man security guard at the hotel became like y'all's rock and roll dad, I think is what you called him.
No, he was at the gig. He was at the Salt Palace. He used to be the security guard where the tour buses were.
Right.
And the bartender at the hotel, the Marriott, which was kind of where a lot of the band stayed at the time.
Right.
He got to know us really well. And he didn't care if we were of age or not, 21 or not, because he got to stay with the band and make the money.
Exactly. So how long do you think it took into all this before people are like, oh, that's Alycen, or hey, is Alycen in town? Like, how long did
6 months. 6 months from when Danny, Kristen, and I got together, because we had this one friend, roadie friend, Richie Barron, who used to work with a lot of different bands. And whenever he would come through town, and tours back then lasted forever, and came through town 2-3 times, so he just was like, oh, when you go to Salt Lake City, and that's kind of what Gmail actually started as, was they would fax each other back and forth to the hotel. When you're in Salt Lake City, look up these girls, here's their numbers,
Oh.
So we kind of got wallpapered.
A little black book that everybody shared. And they probably had one for all the towns that they went to. Not
every town. Like, I mean, people think that groupies are just there's different, groupie road wife is something different than just someone hooking up with a starfucker or whatever, because you're not in every town long enough. You might be there 24 hours.
No. So I'm saying the boys, the rock stars.
But that's what I'm explaining. Not every town they have someone like me, or like I'm not that to every band that I meet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So I know at one point, and I'm a huge Pantera fan, huge.
Oh,
but I I was at the last concert that they had right before Dimebag was taken. And it was the first time I had gotten to see them because I lived a very sheltered life. It was,
Yeah.
you know, brimstone and the rod and the whole 9 yards. Like you didn't do this stuff. And so when I got finally old enough, married, moved out, and they said Pantera's coming to town. And I'm like, holy shit, I want to go watch them. And so I got to see them. But this wasn't the original Pantera. You know, it was after they went through all their crap. And I mean, I was really taken aback by their performance. And they had the choice between this little stage and the big stage.
Yeah.
And they chose to perform on the little stage.
Yeah.
And so then there was limited tickets. There was all this kind of shit. And I ended up going, and it was really awesome. And I remember the last thing that I said when we walked out the door, I cannot wait till they come back. And then it was like that next concert. And I was like, we literally just saw them. How could this?
I
And
saw
then I
him
watched
just a
the
few months
documentary.
before. Yeah, I saw him just a few months before, and Vin and I were always so in our own little world. Like we take off right after the concert and just go be alone. Not
So were you
necessarily
with
in a
him
bed.
at that point?
Oh yeah, I'd known him. Vin and I had a thing for 8 years.
Yeah,
When
that's
Dime
fine.
was unalived, but
So you were still in that relationship situation.
that was actually the night that ended that relationship. Was the last time I saw Dime alive. Yeah.
Wow.
And Dime was like, "What are you doing in Salt Lake?" Because they were not used to me being in Salt Lake. I was Seattle. I was Las Vegas, London.
Yeah.
You know. And I was like, "Oh, my family's here." And that's when Vin found out that I was with John Entwistle when he died, and it broke the facade. You know, because you don't talk about the other rock stars. You know, just like they don't talk about the other groupies or whatever that they know. You know,
And then he knew. Yeah.
then he knew. He's like, "Is she just with me because I'm the drummer, Pantera?" It's like, no.
Not at all.
There is chemistry. I'm not with someone for 8 years because they're a drummer.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be more to that.
Yeah.
Hello, guys, coming in. Lone Star Queen said Damage Plan. Do you know anything about the Damage Plan?
Yeah, that's who they were playing with when Dime was murdered.
Oh, yes. I thought,
that was the band after Pantera, because I watched Pantera implode. I was around for all that.
That was bad. And I watched a documentary about them last week, I think.
The Hulu one. I am so pissed at this tour because Vin had never wanted this tour. He would not step on stage with Rex Brown after what Rex said about him in Rex's biography. I mean, Vin never would have wanted this. And the second he died, here comes Zach stepping on his grave like nothing. Oh, I hate him. I hate him. They played twice here, and if I went up there, I would have torn him.
Gone to jail. Yeah.
No, I would have gone to jail. I know too many people. But anyway.
That's not the point. So then, so moving on, at this point, you're coming up on pretty quick on Metallica, aren't you?
Yeah, I first met Metallica. Cliff was still alive. They were opening up for Ozzy during the Master of Puppets tour. And that's when I first met him. But I walked out on James. I didn't get together with him for another 6 months.
I remember that because you had a girlfriend story.
Well, because he's like, my girlfriend only allows blowjobs. I was like, okay, 2 words I'm not listening to. Bye.
No,
you know?
Yeah, no.
BJ's only and girlfriend. And I walked out, and he was like, Alycen, come back. I'll give you what you want. I'm like, no. I'm like, call me when you wake up with your girlfriend. Left my number on the nightstand. Bye.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because, that's one thing. A lot of people think groupies are so easy just to bend over for the rock stars and what they want. And it's like, no. We are very independent women with our own morals, our own strengths, our own decency.
Your own boundaries.
No other girl would have walked out of that room. No other girl did walk out of that room. But I did. Just like I walked away from Bret Michaels. You don't always have to say yes. And
there was a Korn guy that you walked away from too, right?
Yeah, the lead singer, Jonathan Davis. And then I went and found his guitar player. He was better.
The guitar player.
Monkey. Does he play guitar? I'm not sure what he plays. Maybe bass. I don't know. I didn't ask. He just looks good.
Is it the one that wears a lot of black eyeliner with the long dreadlocks?
Yeah. Mhm.
And how was that one?
Fabulous. He did not get the tap, tap, tap.
That's good. I wondered. He seems like a very nice man. Like a
Yeah.
very, very nice man. He really does.
He was very nice. And I have a picture of him from years later after that. So
And when I see
Okay.
them, go ahead, Matthew.
So earlier you were saying, I forgot who you said someone said his girlfriend only allows.
That was
Ted or
Metallica
whatever, right?
guy.
yeah, James
Right.
Hetfield.
Now you said you were just like, nope, that ain't happening, and people think groupies can just do whatever. Now, how old were you, or how long were you into the groupie game? Like, was
That
there
was
a point?
1986. So I was only about a year into the full-on groupie life, and I was really just kind of emerging into the full-on, this is my tribe. I love these people. I trust these people. I have fun with these people type of thing. So, but I always knew who I was. I was raised with strong parents and strong grandparents and family and, good teachings. So
Yeah.
just
What-
because
what-
I'm going out to mess around with the rock stars doesn't mean I'm going to be their toy. In the 80s, the groupies kicked in that backstage door and we said, this is our candy store. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh,
Right. But at some point, you got to that point, right? But was there a point where you would have, like, if that happened to you earlier on, would you have been like,
No.
all right, fine? No, it was just so
No,
it
I
was
was
your way
16.
from the start.
I was 16 years old when that happened.
oh shit.
15,
Okay.
16. I wasn't quite 16 yet. So if I knew who I was at that age, I knew who I am now. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah.
second in between there and now, I've always known.
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes to see. I don't want to skip ahead, but I also don't want to give too much because
I'm
if
gonna
you-
skip ahead. I'm
Yeah,
skipping
okay.
ahead. List some
Yeah.
rappers right now. List some rappers you hooked up
I
with.
hung out with E40, with Ice-T,
Wow!
when he was with his Body Count band. Just ran into
We're-
Ice-T in the mall, which was awesome.
We're talking about rappers you've slept with, right?
No, besides Tupac and
Oh!
but he
You
was with
didn't hear
Digital
that earlier?
Underground. What?
I don't think he heard you say that earlier. I wondered why
Tupac?
he didn't respond.
What?
Tupac was great. Like I
What?
said, he impressed me as
Yo,
an intelligent
What?
human being. He really impressed me as an intelligent
when
human
he
being.
was when he was with Shock G and everybody. Oh
Yep.
man, yeah.
Yep. We went after the
Yeah.
Digital Underground show, and they're like, we found these hot tubs to rent. We're like, scabies, nope.
Mm. You never hooked up with Shock G? No.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. A friend of mine was though.
That's funny. So is
But
Tupac
they were
a
cool ass
one-time
guys.
thing?
I love them. But I've hung out with a lot. Like Snoop Dogg introduced me to my weed dealer in Vegas back in the day. Just hung out with a lot of different people. Was on the
Nice.
MC Hammer tour. Danced on stage with Tone Loc during the Club MTV tour.
That's funny. So
Club
it's Club
MTV.
MTV.
I hung out with Was Not Was. I miss Sweet Pea so much.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and skip again. Tell me about. I heard some story about you were overseas and you were just about to be in big trouble, and then something amazing happened.
Which
Somebody
one?
made a phone call, and
When
you
we escaped the
were-
Yakuza?
yeah, I think that
Yes.
was the one right there. You
Yeah,
escaping the
so
Yakuza. Please tell that
when
one.
I was as a dancer, people don't realize we have a lot of opportunity to dance all over the world, to do magazines, stuff like that. And again, took advantage because I don't want to be just some girl that walks around a pole, right? So I've been over to Japan a couple times. When I first moved to Vegas, I had another opportunity to go over there. Okay, no problem. Been there before, turned out great, right? Well, it started in the airport. They're like, no, you're not going to Tokyo. You're going to Kamitsu City. This guy's picking you up. This is what you have to say at the airport. It's like, what? And we were there for 2 weeks. The club wasn't even open up. And we realized in the house, there was this room that we could not go into. And one day, the guys in the suits, just like you here, the guys in the suits brought a guy in. They're like, get the fuck upstairs. We're like, okay. And yeah, we
Whoa.
realized what was going on. It was the Yakuza. And
oh.
we had to walk 5 miles every
Oh my
day to the nearest phones that called internationally, because the phone in the house would not call internationally for a reason. And yeah, we called my best friend's dad, and we called my grandfather, and my grandfather called the embassy. And yeah, got out of there. They sent cars. They took us to the train, and we just got the hell out.
Wow. Now
Yeah.
I remember. I think I might have found your footage.
Okay,
Maybe.
look for two blonde girls with mini skirts and cowboy boots.
You were blonde back then.
Hmm.
Oh,
I'm naturally
Cowboy
blonde.
boots.
are you
Because I looked
naturally
for it.
blonde?
It would be in Denver, Colorado on Fiddler on the Green. Because they did it at every tour stop. They had girls come up and dance on stage at every tour stop.
Nice.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to go there. I
So,
don't want to.
so Alycen, rate your dance moves.
Well, is there a pole involved or not? Because a pole
Hey.
involved.
Hey, now.
I'm a
What
former
kind of
stripper. I
pole?
danced all over the world. I did shows on the Moulin Rouge. I did features, magazines. So on the stage, 1 out of 10, I'm a fucking 50 with the pole. Off the
Yeah.
stage, probably a 7 to an 8.
Okay. Damn. Shit. Nice. That's amazing.
I'm gonna have to go through that. Like,
Yeah, look up Club MTV tour Fiddler on the Green. Tone look.
oh my god, hold on. I
Because it
heard
was up in
myself.
Denver. Because we would go to Denver a lot from Salt Lake City or to
Fiddler
Seattle.
on the Green.
Hmm. That's the venue.
And
I've
it's
heard
MTV. What?
I've heard stories of you and an Arabian princess.
Yeah, an ex of mine who I knew for about 6 years before we started dating was from Saudi. And he, like I said, I was going to Dubai before it's the chunky mess that it is now, you know. It was like the Burj Al Arab was only the 7-diamond hotel in the world. The Palms Island wasn't even built yet, you know. So yeah, I went out to Bahrain and had an amazing adventure. I've been so lucky, you know. I've
Yeah.
been flown out all over the place.
But I mean, you were like above and beyond lucky. And I'm not talking about like the people that you spent time with or anything like that. Just the fact that you didn't get put in a situation outside of the one you just talked about. Like nothing that you've told me on here and privately that I've watched on an interview. I mean, like, do you realize how lucky you are? Because there's a lot of horror stories.
You know what? And this is something that's going to come out in my second book. Having a relationship with a small town guy that I used to know as a kid that I used to go sneak out with and make out with in the woods. But
Yeah.
after being in that horrific situation, I realized how lucky I am to have that rock and roll family and how coddled and protected and naive I was to the rest of the world. Because, like I said, in rock and roll, people think the groupies are just these disposable whores, but we're part of the family. We're part of their sanity out there on the road, especially back then, because tours used to last like a year, 2 years, you know,
Yeah,
and it was 5-6 shows a week.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
you need someone out there to help you keep your sanity.
Yeah.
And people don't realize if, as a groupie, by the third date, you're living with this person. You are in that hotel room with them. You are shit, showering, shaving, eating everything together. You are never 20 feet away from this person. So you have to have a lot of trust. You have to feel safe and comfortable and really give the same thing back.
So
know?
are you still in the game now?
Not in the same way. These are just the people I've known my whole life and that I have memories with and trust with and still good friendships with. So when somebody I want to hang out with comes to town, I go up to the hotel bar or we just call each other. Hey, let's go out to dinner. Okay, cool. I rarely go to the shows anymore because they're just big old selfie backdrops anymore. I just want to go have dinner with my friends and say, hey, and go home.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I was just listening to your story. I was like, God bless. She is like super lucky that nothing bad ever happened. Honestly.
Well, I mean, like I said, the only bad thing has happened from the outside world. Like wake up next to a dead rock legend in Vegas when you're a stripper and he did cocaine, because I don't do cocaine. It wasn't my thing, you know. And he only did one line. And I mean, I think that's kind of, I became such a different aspect in rock and roll. You know,
Where? Cocaine? Somebody say cocaine? What? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after,
sorry about that. Whoops.
Yeah, after I
mean to do
learned
that.
about you being in bed with he was with the Who. The bass
John
player
Entwistle from the Who. Yeah.
Okay, what was his name again?
John Entwistle.
John Entwistle. Okay, that name was never going to stick in my brain. I don't know why. Entwistle. It sounds like a Christmas decoration, but okay.
Well, he did have lovely balls.
Jingle, jingle. So he,
Baby.
so he used. I think he was your longest relationship, right?
One of the longest. He was 13 years. I met him in 1989. It actually took him 2 years to get me into bed. And I actually just interviewed his ex-wife, Maxine, on my channel a couple months ago. And she's an absolutely lovely woman. We've stayed friends. I mean, this is how rock and roll is. People don't realize, do the wives hate you? No.
They don't hate you. They're not worried or
no, because how do you think the wives met their husbands? Backstage.
Should they hate you?
But most of the guys I was with weren't married. We were all too young at the time. And by the time I got older, like Vinnie Paul was never married. Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols was my fuck buddy for 5 years. Never married. No woman at home. He's sober. John was divorced and never married again when we were together, and like Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest, divorced when we hooked up.
Hold on. Let's get back to John. All right. Let's see. What's a good one that
see, I love a dirty old English man. Fuck yeah, baby.
To him right there. Is that it right there?
That's what he looked like when he died. Now, when we first met, it was 1989. It was 2 weeks before my 19th birthday.
Oh, well, then he probably looked more like.
You can put in 1989. And
that one. That might have been before
that. Close. We're getting closer. That's more the 70s.
There we go. That's 89.
Yeah, that was more when we first met.
That's all. Yeah, that's 89.
Blow it up.
Hold on. Let me see. This was actually the second he saw me in Boulder, Colorado during sound check. A roadie friend of mine took this picture and gave it to me because this is when we first saw each other.
Oh,
hold on
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Hold on, one more time. Let me blow you up. Pause.
So he was blonde.
Yep. Blonde going to white.
Wow. Then that's when you met it.
Yeah, that was the day we met, and that was the moment we first saw each other.
There we go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I know that your second book, you told me, is more personal in some ways because it talks about the fallout that you've received from this book that we're going.
Well, it's not just about it's life in the aftermath of a scandal. It's life trying to fit into the normal world after being a stripper. It's life in the aftermath, what it feels like when your rock lovers die and the whole world is mourning it, but you're in this whole isolated cell. It's life with this relationship I was talking about that was pretty horrific for a couple years. I just released my book, so there's the aftermath of my life and my hard work, and it's very hard for me to fit into the normal world, so it's very much that's the vein of the book.
Boring. It's probably
I think everybody has something interesting and exciting to them, whether you think it or not. I think
like you adjusting from rock and roll to normal life. Normal life seems
rock and roll is always going to be there. That's always going to be my safety zone. That's always going to be my friends, my lovers. Because even after I left Vegas, I was still hanging out after 2002.
Oh, wow.
It's just like I said, I became a different entity backstage than just that groupie. It's like, oh my God, there she is, because I'm part of rock and roll history. I'm part of Las Vegas history.
Right. So you feel like you're a rock star as well, right?
No, because I the fame part of it, that's why I liked being a groupie. I was very much in the back, I had my own little world back here. I was not noticed by the front of the people on the front of the stage.
You feel like one of them more than other groupies, though, right? Could you say that at some point, right?
Maybe in a way, but in a way, it just kind of solidified me. Like some groupies are not going to be there forever. You know what I mean? And I'm stuck in it forever now. It's part of my legacy. That's why I wrote the first book, was because my story was being told for me by so many people who never even knew what I looked like. So
people were talking about you in books, or or
Oh
like
yeah, and books and articles about John, about this, about that, you know, in every direction. And I was always hooker, prostitute, murderer, which I never was. And I've proven
Yeah.
it legally by suing Rupert Murdoch and Roger Daltrey from The Who. And, you know, I've
What'd you
sued
have
them.
to go through for as far as being accused of his death?
I read through.
Well, the homicide pulled me in and was like, "We know you got the cocaine," even though I did not.
Wow.
You know, it was one of his roadies, and I'm sitting there between two homicide guys going, and they're like, "What do you mean, groupie?" And I was like, "Dude, it was so hard because I'm like, you know, I've known this guy for 13 years. I'm not just some random chick he met at the bar last night."
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, "Are you sure there was no money exchange?" It's like,
The
pull your head out of your fucking asses, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, they figured it out real quick because I happened to know the mayor of Vegas at the time. Leave me the fuck alone.
I noticed that in my research of that situation, you really were like made out to be this evil, you know, see you next Tuesday
Mhm.
bitch of a person. And you just, I mean, you might as well have stole the cash and cards out of his wallet and fled the bedroom.
And I didn't. That's the whole thing. Even in every news article, nothing was touched in that room. His best friend, Cy Langston, and I stayed friends until Cy died 3 years ago.
Yeah. And then they were saying like when they got there, it was very, very clear that he had been gone for like 12 hours or something.
No, it was only like
Yeah.
he passed away between 7:30 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Mhm.
Around there. I woke up. Everything says 10:30, but I woke up around 11:30 and called 911.
Ah,
So it was probably about 3-4 hours. I was sleeping next to that body. Yeah.
that is fucking.
Damn.
I mean,
I wanted
when I
him to be
was,
stiff when I woke up in the morning, but not that. Come on, John. I didn't mean rigor mortis.
yeah, that's
And oddly enough, one of his albums was named When Rigor Mortis Sets In.
good lord, didn't know that.
No, John had a great sense of humor. He would have found the situation like, fuck yeah, man. He went out total, the greatest rock and roll death ever in the history of evers.
But
You
he
know,
had
he
a
would-
really bad heart condition, right?
Somewhat. And this is something because Paul Reese, who wrote The Ox, didn't speak to me, didn't ask me anything, didn't read my book, nothing. So this is why I say don't believe anything anybody else says because nobody bothers to ask me. I'm just, to them, I'm this disposable whore. To John, I was the woman he knew for 13 years, respected and cared for. But one of the things people don't know that I revealed in my book that came out in 2014 was the cocaine was cut with GHB and ecstasy. Yes, he did have 75 to 100% blockage in his arteries, but he only did one fucking line. One. And it wasn't I did a line, and his art dealer, Bill Everly, did a line. You know, I was the only person in the room that did not do a line because it wasn't my shit. I don't do that. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I'm nobody's mother. And the like I said, the cocaine was cut with GHB and ecstasy, and that's why. I mean, homicide was on the phone with me every fucking day for 3 months.
They're just pushing you like you did it.
Yeah, they're trying to get me to break, and I'm like, because I got rid of the cocaine, I did lie about it to them, you know, because I'm protecting my friend, I'm protecting his legacy.
Yeah. So you
Stop
got
it.
What?
The comment. The duty is innocent.
Yeah.
To proven guilty. That's right.
So how did it come about that you hooked up with Toby Keith?
Well, back in the 80s, you know, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all these places where we could go see what, you know, their tour itinerary was. So we used to go downtown and do the rounds, drive around all the hotels till we found tour buses. And we were bored, so we're like, I wonder if anybody's in town. Nobody's called us, but let's just go see if there's a band in town that we don't know. Sure enough, we pull off the freeway, and there's Alycen is what?
Oh, that's from earlier.
Oh.
That was from about
Chicken
an
steak.
hour or
From
so
Sean.
ago.
Oh, hey, Sean. That's chicken steak.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we pulled off, and there were these tour buses, and it used to be one of those old Holiday Inns with the putt-putt, the fun center in the middle, and then they had the other buildings outside. And we get out of the car, and there's the tour buses, and there's like Toby and Steve Warner and a bunch of other guys just hanging out in chairs, smoking joint, drinking beer. They're like, "Hello, ladies." That's the mating call for groupies. Hello, ladies. And we're like,
Yeah.
hello, boys. You know, and that's
Is
how we
that
met him.
okay? That's official. That's the official.
Mhm.
Okay.
Matthew, don't do it. It's
No.
not going to work.
Now I know.
It's not going to work.
They're gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like,
Just,
oh,
just
shit.
go get a tour bus, sit outside, and be like, hey, ladies, trust me.
It's done. It's a wrap.
Okay.
You don't even
No,
have to
I
put a guitar next to you.
or just stand near a tour bus.
Yes,
So,
yes.
There
Be
you
like, hey, girl, you want backstage pass? No, I'm kidding.
go.
right? And then when they say yeah, and then I let them know I'm really driving a Nissan Sentra that's parked behind it. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, you laughing at my Sentra? What the hell?
Excuse me.
My Lord.
It's
Oh,
lime
God.
green too. So
I mean, that's
anyway.
how I met Chicken Snake. He was working with Dark Angel. You saw the picture with me in the
Yeah.
white skirt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, that was how I met. That's how I met Sean.
That's
He was
funny.
out on the road with, hey, Classic Garage, I love you, girl. What's up, babes?
Sorry, I've been busy. I haven't been looking at chat too much. Sorry about that.
That's
Oh, whoa, what the hell?
what does it
See?
say?
Amen to
Yeah.
big dicks.
Yes.
It does not say that.
It
Well,
It
does
you
does
know,
not.
like I said, it's not the size of the wand; it's the magic in it. But
It does
you
not
know,
say that.
I'm pretty good at finding the size.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I just did, don't you?
What?
My dogs are right on the other side of this wall, and they're having a conversation very passionately through the fence with the neighbor's dog that just moved in.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, shut up.
Mhm. I know. I've seen it too.
Mm-hmm. He knows me really well.
What a shame. So you the only time you've ever really been in sort of danger was the Yakuza.
The Yakuza, and then
sorry.
after John dies, that shithole of a whirlwind and the tabloids and everything, you know, harassing my family. And yeah, the only 2 times.
They harassed your family.
Oh, yeah, they called my mom, they called my dad, they harassed my sister, they put things that, and even the article I did for the Mail on Sunday was nothing of what I said, you know,
Wow.
because they're
It
like,
says-
well, that's not juicy. It's like, yeah, what's so juicy about someone that knew somebody for 13 years?
Yeah. I just happened to be there with him
Yeah.
when he
So,
passed. That's crazy.
you know, and the people don't realize groupies get to see some of the coolest shit. Like, I lived in Seattle during the height of grunge, and when I first met Vinnie Paul, the drummer of Pantera, right after Pantera, like anybody who was grunge gods at the time, and people that you've never heard of, you know, was on the grunge scene. We're backstage at Pantera, and next thing you know, we're in Alycen Chains recording studio with, you know, my friend who I introduced to Mike Inez and Jerry Cantrell and me and Vinny listening to Alycen Chains album while it's being made. You know, I mean, you get to experience really cool things like that. We knew Metallica was making their video before the rest of the world. We saw that puppy before the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was a big thing back then because Metallica was so anti-MTV, you know.
They were, but I remember the first time I heard about Metallica was on MTV. They used to do the MTV premieres of the videos, and remember they do like the rock block, the R&B block, the blah blah blah.
Midnight premieres.
Yeah,
Love it.
and the what was it? Inner Sandman.
Uh-huh.
And
no, their first video was one Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see.
Yeah.
Absolute horror about the book Johnny Get Your Gun.
Yeah, but I didn't see that. I'm saying when I first saw him, it was the Inner Sandman and what was Unforgiven or
Unforgiven 1, 2, or 3.
All of them probably were on MTV at one point or another. But that's where I saw them was that the Unforgiven and the Inner Sandman. That Inner Sandman, I heard that and I had to come from the other room. I was like, who is this? You know?
Yeah.
And then I went down a huge rabbit hole for Metallica and the documentaries and stuff. And Lars was a dick.
Lars could be, but he was actually a sweetheart. He could be a dick because a lot of people were so kind of mean to him and stuff. But the biggest dick out of that band is James Hetfield. I'm just going to say it outright.
Really?
Yes.
That was the one you were liking for 8 years or however.
Yeah,
long it
but now
was.
I see who he's become. He's nothing of who I used to know. I mean,
What's the
this is the
difference?
man who fired his bass player for doing something he did. You know, I mean, he's a man who said I went to rehab for alcohol when it was because he cheated on his wife so much. He got a bleeding ulcer on the Injustice tour and quit drinking heavy, as far as I knew. You know, maybe
Yeah.
drank 2 or 3 days a week and maybe 2 Sapporos.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't have a lot of care for people who lie about who they are when they don't have to, you know.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff that he did, there was like a grain of
Mhm.
truth to it, but mostly surrounded in bullshit.
Yeah.
And he didn't used to be that way.
No, they were like a hungry band. They actually were good musicians. Now
Mhm.
it's like they're all in 4 corners phoning in the albums, literally. You know, they're not even in the studio together. And for me, being in the studio together is like where the real fucking magic happens with anybody in the music, you know?
Mhm. So
Any
they
type
went
of
from
music.
we're never doing a music video to basically prima donnas that don't work.
That's why Danny and I are like, we are over these guys. We saw them becoming who they swore they would never become.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they basically are they're just U2 of heavy metal. They're just U2. U2 used to be the biggest band in the world. Now it's
Wait,
Metallica. They don't do anything different or
I wanna
passionate or
hear.
anything anymore.
I haven't heard anything
Hitchhiking.
from them.
Is it hitchhiking?
Oh.
Hitchhiking to the Who or hitchhiking to the Club MTV tour?
Damn, there's
You
more than
were-
one.
I think you were going to Denver. Your
Yeah,
friend
both of
had
them.
said
Both of those were to Denver, but no, we were hitchhiking to the Who, and it was just, oh my God, everything that could go wrong. Like we got the first
crazy
car we
trucker
get
couple
into.
or something.
Yeah, they were actually on like one of those 48 hours of cold case files. They
Shut
were a
up.
murderous couple. Oh, I
Shut
forgot about
up.
that.
Did
Yeah,
it?
we
They
got
turn
out of that car because some female truck driver lady saved us from them, and then we made it all the way to Denver. And
So
the guy,
who were
the
they?
tour went like 4 hours out of its way to take us home and make sure we got safe.
Who was this murderous couple?
I cannot remember their names. I just remember seeing them years later. I was like, oh my God.
And it was a man and a woman. They were driving a semi.
Yeah, they were like in this little like old 70s
What?
gremlin trying to get up a canyon to Park
Oh
City,
my.
Utah, up the mountain.
So
And
where
going
did
like
they get
30 miles
caught
an
from?
hour up this fucking canyon. And
What?
yeah, they're like, no, we're going to take you to our house. We're not going to make it to Denver today. Don't worry. And like, they were on this like cold case or whatever years later because they had a girl under their bed.
What?
A live
Shut
girl,
up.
not a dead girl, a live one.
Okay, a live girl found under a bed.
Uh-huh.
Found under bed. This is how I do my notes. Under bed in Salt Lake City.
No, they wasn't in Salt Lake City. It was like somewhere else because they just drove all over the country and did it.
Couple traveled the United States.
Mhm.
Alycen, I
Yes.
don't know your personal life, but it's safe to say that if you didn't do any of the groupie activities, ain't no way you experiencing none of this shit. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
No.
Ain't no way.
Somebody's
It's
asking, what is your opinion on what happened to Kurt Cobain?
Oh.
Kurt
That's
Cobain,
actually-
if you've ever seen the movie by Gus Van Sant, The Last Days, if that's the closest to the
Mhm.
truth, because I was living in Seattle when that happened.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of mutual friends. I knew Kurt Cobain and them before.
Courtney
and,
Love sacrificed him. Yep, go ahead and
No,
say
she
it was
didn't.
Courtney.
No, she didn't.
Oh!
Actually. No,
Damn it.
she didn't. Watch the
Damn
movie by Gus Van Sant, The Last Days. And this is what happened. Courtney did call a lot of people, a lot of the heroin dealers, and said, I will kill you if you sell to him. She did not threaten to Kurt. She did not hire anybody for Kurt. The only drug dealers she got a hold of were these low-life motherfuckers who went and crashed at his pad. They were at his house for 3 days and gave him hot shots. And they set Kurt up. Like I said, watch that movie. That's the
Okay,
closest to the
what
truth.
is it called
And some
again?
people just came out on TikTok who were saying this exact same thing. It was not Courtney. It was these drug dealers that gave him shitty heroin. And that's what I was hearing in the scene at the time.
You're ruining what I like to do, and I want to blame Courtney. You're
Hey,
fucking
she's
this up.
not my favorite person. I was stuck in a car with her 2 weeks after Kurt died after a 9 Inch Nails show holding a giant fucking Barney. And she was like, God, I'm like, get me the
I
fuck
can't-
out of here.
Can't
Okay.
stand her.
What is the name of the movie you want us to see?
Gus Van Sant. It's the director, Gus Van Sant's The Last Days.
Okay.
Mm,
Is
mm.
it guess the
No,
answer?
Gus, Gus, Gus Van Sant. He's a director.
Van Zant, Z-A-N-T.
Yeah, SANDT, something like that. Van Zant. It's ZANDT, something like that. But just put in Gus Van Sant, The Last Day.
Google should
This
take
movie's
over.
been out forever.
And
But
this
that's
movie is
it's
about
exactly
Kurt
what I
Cobain?
was hearing at the time when I was living. It's the closest to the truth we're ever gonna get.
Oh.
I'll go look at that.
Yeah.
No, not shot. Oh, she's saying she's saying that he didn't self-inflict on himself.
No,
you saying somebody
from what
else did?
from what I heard, and from what this one guy who's been out on TikTok for the last year, who knew the drug dealers as well.
Mhm.
He, I didn't know the drug dealers, but like I said, I knew other musicians who knew them, who knew the story, and they had the shitty heroin. These people were the people, like, if you had nowhere else to go, like, you know, the movie Train Spotting, where he shoves a suppository of heroin up his ass. Yeah, the shittiest heroin in Scotland type of thing. And that's who they were. They were like your last desperate place to go if you had nowhere else to get your heroin. And I never did that, but like I said, I was just around the grunge scene, so I met a lot of different people through there.
Back then, was the dirty needle or the needle sharing a thing? Like, or was
honestly, I don't know, because again, heroin was not my thing, and I didn't see any
but being around the people, like,
they wouldn't do it in front of me.
Oh, they didn't do it in front of you.
Mhm.
So
No,
sharing
even thank
needles,
God.
you don't even know if they were.
No.
But was sharing needles a thing? Like, what?
I don't think so, because what a lot of people don't realize is in the 80s, we were so saturated with AIDS and if you have a stiffy, wear a jiffy. If it's not love, wear a glove. We were saturated in daily life as this is how you can contract AIDS. This is how you can do this. This is how you protect yourself. This is this and this and this. So there were needle exchanges, and there was, you know, I don't think people were really sharing needles a lot back then, because they already were very aware. People might have already gotten hepatitis. You know, we were all very aware of intravenous ways to get AIDS.
Shit. Well, and
we
that's
were all
what I
very
was leading up
protected.
to. Like, you know, were the guys being careful? Was that ever a fear of yours?
No, because I carried my own condoms.
Oh, good.
I'm not putting anything to chance. I'm gonna take care of my own stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Were you ever worried about getting knocked up?
No, kind of, but then come to find out I'm Rh negative, have endometriosis, and get ovarian cysts, so I can't have kids.
Oh,
you never
not every woman born on this earth is meant to have kids. You know?
You never got pregnant at any point?
No, I can't get pregnant. When I'm one of 10% of people in the world that have Rh negative to their blood type. I'm typo negative with the Rh negative factor. And when you have Rh negative and Rh positive mixed together in the sperm and the egg, nope, not happening.
It's not happening.
No, they're absolutely incompatible. Yeah.
Wow.
So no rock star babies here, but I have a friend that had one. Never told the guy who died though.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Jeff Hanneman from Slayer, yeah.
Damn. So he didn't ever know.
Nope. She never told him, which, you know, that's her prerogative.
Yeah. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what would have happened if he knew.
He didn't have any other kids when he died, so I don't know.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this. I liked Metallica before they cut their hair. The music changed. I've seen a lot of people say that.
It did change with those albums, because that's when they started becoming more into the corporate side of the music rather than still being the artists and the musicians. You know, they sold out to the corporate side of music, and that's where we are with music right now. Even when I go backstage, I could have the lead singer, I could have James Hetfield putting me on a fucking guest list, but he has to have it approved through iHeartRadio people, and then he gets an email back that says, yes, you can put your friend on the guest list. Dude, are you serious?
It's his show.
Exactly, it's his show. But that's how much corporate the corporate world governs the music business now. It used to be the artists. And I like people like Eka Vandal, who's up and coming. You know, she's been around for years, but she's done her own thing. She hasn't sold out. And look where she is now. She's got one of the biggest hits in the nation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and it just makes me sad because so many people just have sold out to the corporate
Bullshit.
leeches. Yeah.
So did you didn't know Diddy, right?
Went to a Diddy party once, stayed for 15 minutes, got the fuck out. Didn't feel right.
It was not cool.
No.
Is it everything that they're talking about, or he's just like
I don't know. I was only there for 15 minutes and the guy was like, yeah, come back to the VIP. And it felt wrong. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll meet you back here in a minute. And me and my friends just got the hell out.
Yeah, you did an Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm notorious for that. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be like, I'm gone.
Right? Take a poop and then leave.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just leaving.
Don't flush it, though.
I'm not sitting on those club toilets. Hell no. I'm a hoverer.
Oh, yeah. Hover or squat. Depending on the shoes you're wearing.
Hilarious. Unless you're sick, then you just plop. You don't care.
No.
If you're drunk, you're plopping.
I was, like I said, I've been fortunate to be very cautious and aware. I was raised to be aware, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was very fortunate to be able to see when I should leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You got the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's good.
And unfortunately, that's not the case for everybody. You know, we all, as women, we all know, or everybody knows somebody, you know, or has had that experience. So, you know, and that's the one thing in rock and roll. The motto is we don't leave anybody in the parking lot at 2 a.m. You know, we have each other's backs. If you're hanging out, we're going to make sure you're safe. Whether it's the groupies, the band members, the roadies, we're all there.
Everybody.
Yep.
Nice.
So what politicians? You mentioned politicians earlier, and in the book it says that your grandfather, I think, was politically connected, and that's why you could get out of there quickly and as fashionably as you did.
Yeah, my grandfather was politically connected, but I mean, we have ancestry way back in politics. But Orrin Hatch was one of my customers at the first strip club. He's like the golden Mormon boy who was one of the top conservatives in DC for like 30, 40 years. Biggest piece of shit. Like that man, if he didn't like you, he would destroy your life. So he would come into my strip club and I would smack him with his own belt. And I never loved anything more in my life than that.
That's funny.
Yep.
So was he the only one or was there more?
That was the only politician, but of course you're going to meet famous people at the strip club. Like Jack Nicholson was my regular in Vegas. Tony Danza, he was, when I first started dancing, I was in Salt Lake City and I was dancing for him the night before he went skiing and broke his rib. And that was big news the next day. You know?
Oh.
So Tony Danza broke a rib. You know, gosh, Drew Barrymore, when she was dating the guy from Home, was at my strip club in Seattle. She was a handsy bitch. I was like, nope.
She wanted on you.
And she's like, well, I'm a girl. I'm like, I don't care if you're a girl, guy, or whatever, anything in between. I do not give a fuck. You are still abiding by my rules.
Oh my!
So you didn't allow touching?
No, not like like as a stripper, you know, you're an independent contractor. You can set your own prices. So like $30 was topless. I'm gonna be like 2 feet away from you. $60 totally nude. I'm gonna do a little grinding. $100 I'm gonna put you on the bed dance because Deja Vu does the bed dances. I invented that shit. And you lay flat on your back and you just grind on them like, hell yeah, no sex, no drugs, lots of rock and roll, baby. I'm like, you can touch my legs.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that look on my face. I'm like, bitch, don't even.
So is this like you sat for some photography or is this like an
No, this is just a friend
picture?
taking a picture out in the streets in Salt Lake City. We were just walking around and she just took the picture. I was like, what?
Oh, that's funny.
It was the same girl.
Another one.
Oh, God, that was in a bathroom at work.
Really?
Yeah.
How long were you here?
That was after John. I was an area manager for a loan company. So that was probably about 2008 to 2010.
Wow.
Okay. You know,
Okay.
I had a hard time finding any pictures of chicken snake, and I found one on your
Yeah, you
page
did.
here.
No,
Mhm.
that's not
Yeah.
chicken stick. You know which one was the.
Shout out to chicken snake. Hey man. Hey. Good to see you, bro. It's good to
Oh
see you,
my
chicken snake.
goodness.
You looking good, bro. Looking good. All right, Gigi, what was that now?
I thought it was somebody else for a minute.
It is chicken. You're right. It's not somebody else. That's chicken snake, you guys.
That's
With a hickey on
hilarious.
his
Can't. Okay, so Chicken Snake says,
boob.
"Oh God, Lone Star, you're gonna make me spit." Okay.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, that's
Um,
in my old bedroom back in the day. I was about 33, 34 when that one was taken.
Oh wow.
That was after John. Yep, that was in Missouri.
About
With
the
my
same.
2 years of that piece of shit, horrible asshole.
Okay, last one. That's it. Paul
Oh
Abdul.
yeah, that
right
was
here.
in my bathroom. That was my bathroom curtain behind me.
Paulo right there. All right. All right.
So Chicken Snake said, "Tell him the story about the club in New York by RuPaul."
Oh, when my friend Marie and I were out on the Def Leppard tour, and they had like 3 days off in New York and then a couple days of playing. And I'm like, well, Marie hasn't been to New York yet, and Marie was another groupie on the scene, dated Zach Wilde, who's out with, Pantera now, Pantera. But anyway, and we just got sick of the boys and ditched them on the last night we were there. And went out partying, went to Club USA, was hanging out with the club kids, the Party Monster, Michael Alec and all that. We were hanging out with them and RuPaul and Misunderstood and everybody, Richie Rich, and just having the best time of our lives. And we ditched Def Leppard and we went back to the hotel the next day and I found my phone number ripped up and on the nightstand.
Oh no!
Oh, damn.
He was mad.
They still paid for our hotel for the next 3 weeks because they booked us in that. They my plane ticket. I thought I was only there for 2 weeks. Oh no, we were there for a month. They paid for that hotel room for another 3 weeks while we were there, and they knew they were because that's just rock and roll. They're gentlemen like that. But we were partying. I was sleeping with Ricky Rockman. He used to be the host of Headbanger Ball. Because he had a band and I was sleeping with him in the bathroom at the Limelight, partying with the club kids. Spent 3 days with some Wall Street guy in his apartment at the Dakota.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It was a good time. That was one of my favorite times in New York.
So is there a city that you went to that you didn't like?
Yeah, Fargo,
North Dakota?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Not a damn thing. Even the pizza sucked.
That's the problem.
I mean, even something is heavy and lazy in Fargo, and I don't mean that mean. It's just you just get this really heaviness in Fargo, and even the sex was
Oh.
No, Fargo. What's another city? There's not a lot of cities I dislike, really.
Did you ever come to Texas?
Oh heck yeah, Dallas, Houston, Austin. Story. Yeah, Vin. I used to go down to Vin's all the time, and he'd be like, "Come down and work at my strip club," and I would, and I've never even seen the strip club because I just would hang out at Vin's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Let me see. Lone Star Queen said, "Wait, y'all get hotel rooms? I choose the wrong profession, and I'm used to sleeping in the shitty, musty van until the next town."
Oh, girl, no. Yeah, she's on a club tour, isn't she?
She said, "I worked at the clubhouse."
Did you work at the clubhouse? Was it a cool club? I never went there. Vin would fly me down, and I would just end up staying at his house.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
They gave the best bonuses.
Did they? That sounds like Vincent Paul. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Vin was one of the most generous people you would ever meet in your life.
That's good. They don't make him look good in the documentaries. They make him and his brother look like complete dickheads. Yeah,
because it's all Phil and Rex. And by the end of that tour, there were 2 tour buses, Vin and Dime on one bus and Phil and Rex. So 2 camps. And that's why I say Vin would never have stepped on stage because Rex totally dogged him out in his book. And if it wasn't for Vincent Paul, Rex would not have a job, money, nothing. That's why they
Yeah.
wanted to do this tour so bad, because Rex didn't have any money. Then he went to some desperate groupie that he knew 30 years ago in Brazil. It was like 5 minutes later, like, let's get married. Like, I hate Rex. I literally hate Rex and them.
Does he
they're
know that?
dancing on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're dancing on Vin and Dime's grave. They're sitting there talking shit about Vin and Dime, but yet they're fucking using the name that belongs to Vin and Dime, and Rita Dime's widow isn't doing shit about it. No. I feel like, nobody else is speaking out for Vincent Paul, what Vin would want at this point. And no, he wouldn't want this. And how fucking dare them? How dare them? Vincent Paul was the only one when that band first started. He was working at McDonald's to get that band going, and the only one supporting that band. Every band has the one guy that is the CEO of the band that did everything, that sacrificed, that made that band what it was. And in Pantera, it was Vin. And how dare them? If it wasn't for Vin, they wouldn't be standing there right now. And fuck you, Zach.
Lone Star said Rita is hanging out with him.
I know.
I used to say
That's crazy.
Because Rita was running out of money too. It's all a money grab. I mean, when Vin died, he only had $6 million. It wasn't like he was, Robert Plant with $70 million.
Yeah.
I mean, one is nice.
Hell yeah, I wouldn't be mad at $6 million.
I wouldn't be mad at $500,000 in my bank account.
Thank you. I mean,
I'd take it.
I'm so appalled at this Pantera tour, because I'm so disgusted at the fact that Rita wouldn't be where she was if it wasn't for Vin and Dime, and that yet she lets these guys go talk shit about her fucking long time. They were together since high school, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That makes me mad. That makes me mad.
I can tell. I've never seen you get rattled.
Because I loved Vin. I mean, we spent 8 years, and it's not the love that everybody thinks you have to have. It's not boxed in. He, when his mom died, he disappeared for a week because he came to Vegas because he needed someone to lean on.
Yeah.
Instead of having to be the strong one for everybody else, So, yeah, I'm passionate about protecting him.
And I don't have a segue for this, but it's something that I thought about. When we were talking yesterday, you were saying that you had a lot of people coming for you and using the
yes, you did.
Not like that.
Oh, you meant okay.
Like they were coming for you, and they were referring back to the soft white underbelly interview that you did.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, finish. I didn't mean to.
No, I was
sorry.
just going to say, and soft white underbelly is made their niche in telling stories of like crackheads and whores, and I'm not being derogatory, I'm just saying, like, people that have had bad lives / rough lives, made poor choices. Like, that's their whole theme. It's almost like that whole channel is a cautionary tale for stuff you shouldn't do. Given the viewpoint that you have on your life and how you've lived it, and you're not a victim and you're not an addict, and you didn't, I mean, maybe you're addicted to dick, but outside of that, you know, like, really, like,
what supposed to be addicted to?
What made you want,
hey, yo, what the fuck?
Did you know anything about soft white underbelly when you agreed to the interview?
Well, it took about 2.5 years for them to get me on. So it wasn't like an overnight thing. We talked for a while, and which is, I wasn't going to be able to go out there, this and that, there was just different things holding us up.
Coordinating stuff, yeah.
So I was well aware in getting to there, because people don't realize with my hair in the ponytail, I'm actually wearing Ralph Lauren, and they're like, what is she wearing? I'm like, I was up since 3 a.m., had been through 2 different airports with a fucked up back, because I damaged my back. And when I walked in, everything was Murphy's Law stress until I walked into the door of the studio, and it was calm. And it was finally like, okay, here's the people I was talking to. Mark was nothing but respectful. He even called me afterwards because he saw me, reacting to some of the comments. He's like, do you want me to turn the comments off? I'm like, no, I've dealt with worse. I've been directed to tabloids.
But not in that way. I'm saying, like, when you agreed to do the interview, did you know what Soft White Underbelly was about?
Yeah, I did. I knew it was an alternative look at different lifestyles. And I'm trying to explain who he is behind the scenes because I
Yeah.
think he's very misconstrued by people in front of the scenes. You know, I mean, he actually is quite generous to a lot of people, and everybody. He tries to do everything like with Rebecca. He's
Mhm.
trying. He's trying so hard. He actually really cares about that person.
Who's
You know,
Rebecca?
She's a character that goes on that's very much mentally a drug, and she goes on quite often, and he tries to help
Mhm.
her all the time.
Mhm.
Is trans and everything,
Mhm.
and has given her money to get off the streets and stuff like that. But you can't lead an addict to sobriety. They have to find it themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people ask him for money, and he gives it to them. And
Well,
like
and
I said,
that's great.
I
I'm not.
think that he gears certain things towards
Mhm.
how he wants it to go. We all do with our channels, right?
Mhm.
But I think he's very misconstrued because of how he gears things.
I'm not saying anything about him. I'm talking about you. I don't have any. I like his channel. I like looking at listening to what other people have to say and the different lifestyle choices and where it got people and whatever. But I'm saying in general, it's basically like his channel is a big caution flag. Like, don't
It
do
is,
any of these
but is it
things.
really a
So
caution flag, or is it, hey, look at these people as more than just what you see them on the surface?
no,
And
of
that's
course
one of
it's
the
that.
reasons
But
I
I'm
was
saying,
very comfortable going on, because I knew it was going to be geared how he wanted it to be geared, but it was
Mhm.
also, he gave me a huge opportunity for marketing as well. I mean, I'm a professional, and
right. Okay.
this is
So
another way to promote me. And he gave me that
mhm.
opportunity, and I will never ever be mad at him for that.
And I'm not saying you should be. I'm saying my point is like, as a sub, as somebody who watches it, they could see, here's another person that's made terrible life choices, even though that's
But
not
that's
what
what
you
I'm trying
think.
to
Do you
say. That's
think
what I'm
that?
trying to say. How you perceive it
Mhm.
isn't necessarily how he means it. I mean, I think that, and I've watched it and learned a lot of different things about people that I wouldn't have seen if I was just walking past this person on the street having a fucking meltdown, right? And I
Yeah,
think the mark really does bring it out. It's just how people perceive it isn't necessarily how he wants it to be perceived.
I understand. But given the way that people perceive it, I'm saying, did it ever cross your mind that you were going to be put into like this subsection of,
I was already
whatever?
there since I was 15 years old.
Okay. So
I mean,
that
I had
didn't.
people walk up to me while I was waiting for my friend to come off the bus back in the 80s, because he would stand by the tour buses and be like,
Mhm.
"Are you a groupie?" Or like I said earlier about, at Page and Plant, when that guy was like, "Groupies." And,
Yeah.
our Renge just grabbed him by the collar and kicked him out. The only
Right.
way he got to see Page and Plant was on his way out the back door while they were coming to the stage. So that guy
Right.
paid $500 to get kicked out. So I was already there. Plus, I was already dragged through the tabloids. Anything that happened, but how people perceived me on Soft White Underbelly, already been there.
So it was marketing to get the book and help get some like press type of situation.
It was that, and also trying to get out the fact that the groupie name isn't a 4-letter dirty word.
Right.
We are human beings. We have relationships with these
Mhm.
guys. We're not disposable. Just because you stand there looking up at them on a pedestal doesn't mean we're part of the mud that they're stepping on.
Right. 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 No, I
And
get that.
that's part of the reason I did that as well.
Right.
But groupies being perceived completely differently from women versus men or guys versus girls. I'm sure not exactly the same, but I'm sure you can expect, what you're gonna get from here versus what you're gonna get from there. For the most
Exactly.
part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of people would tell me what my life experience was in the comments. It's like, don't tell my story for me. Listen to my story. Learn from it. See what you want to see. That's fine, but
Yeah.
don't tell it for me, type of thing. And
Right.
like I said, that was the reason for the whole book, because for years until I released that book in 2014, my story was being told for me. And another reason I went on Soft White Underbelly, because again, I'm very much pushed to the back of the classroom, so to speak.
Yeah. Which is not fun.
Yeah. And you want to be heard.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh my. Oh my. I forgot I was gonna ask you now. Wait, I don't know if Rogue's joking or not. I can tell. Geez,
What are you
yeah,
talking
really,
about, Rogue?
I don't know, for real? Do you oh, did you being that you lost your virginity when you were 14 to somebody really important, like really big. At any point, did you see anybody possibly your age at that time or whatever, no matter what age you were at, or maybe younger? Did you see anything like that where maybe you thought, oh, or did you think, hey, this girl's getting an early start? Like
No, you can tell the difference by someone who's complete, because it was very common. Like if you go to my channel and look at all the other groupies from my era that I interview, we were all in high school. We all have the same story. Not that
That's
we all
crazy.
lost our V card to David Lee Roth, but we all kind of have the same. Well, and I know like Diana, who I interview quite a lot on my channel. She's a blast. She knew David Lee Roth, never slept with him, but he would hang out with her whenever he would come into town.
I mean, some
So,
girls
I
got to
mean,
sleep with the parking attendant just to get to
hey,
the.
man, you know what? Where the chemistry lies sometimes, and this is something I always tell girls, what if I want to go meet this rock star, go meet him, but don't set your whole life's goal on that. Or don't, go in with expectations, because you may meet this person and you just don't get along. And then here comes their tour manager and there's chemistry off the fucking hook. Always keep yourself open, and that's okay. I've dated roadies, I've dated rock stars, I've dated normal men, I mean, but when I dated rock stars, the conversation didn't start off about women squirting like it did a lawyer I dated.
Wow.
Yeah, he
That's
said
an
the
icebreaker.
sushi restaurant of all places.
Whoa.
Wow.
He was like, you know what
Super.
I did last night? I'm like, oh God. I've told this story before. You know what I did last night? You know what I mean? It's never going to be a good story when it starts off like that.
No, not usually.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, well, I'm not eating this sushi anymore.
No.
No.
And I remember
That's
you
a horrible
talking
date.
about,
I went on a date with him twice. No, okay.
you were talking about spitting in a cup at one point.
Oh, the Kip Winger story. Oh God. Pineapple it works, people. Just that's all I'm saying. And we were hanging out with Ozzy and Winger, who's just come out, and there was their very first tour. We're opening up for Ozzy, and Ozzy had given me a black pill, and Sharon was going to come down and take care of me. But then I wanted Kip Winger, and the tour manager walked in, and I was like, "Hey, I want to fuck Kip Winger." He's like, "All right, come with me." I'm like, "Cool beans." And I go in the hotel room, everything. The telephone comes flying off because I tripped over the cord because it was pitch black. He turns on the light, and there he is. I'm like, nice. All right, let me see that. And he just gets really excited because I'm really good at that. And he just came, and it was the nastiest motherfucking thing that's ever been in my mouth, that stuff. So it was either swallow it or spit it in the hotel glass. So that's where it went.
Wow.
I'm not swallowing that to this day.
That's crazy. So I guess it depends on what they eat.
Yeah. And my pass of the next day, because, it does depend on what you eat. Trust me, pineapple is a thing. It works. It works. But it became kind of the tour joke. One of the roadies sent him, got a bunch of hotel glasses, wrapped him up with a bow, and said, "With love from Salt Lake."
My goodness.
I think he accidentally drank out of the glass, too.
So the ones that you turned down or had a bad review for, did they ever get salty about it?
No. They're not going to admit to it.
No, probably not. And they got somebody else that'll do it just because of who they are.
Well, with Brett Michaels, that seems to be like a lot of other groupies said the same thing I did. There was nothing spectacular there.
No.
He's
just
cute. So I'm not the only one.
Did you ever what was the other Sammy Hagar? Did you ever
I met
him?
Sammy during his Van Halen years, and it was just he was so packaged in vanilla, like his tequila. I wouldn't drink his tequila either, There was nothing like that made me go, "Oh, you're cool, dude."
So he was just there to make money, I guess.
No, he's talented. He's cool, whatever. But he's exactly what you would expect as a Ken doll California rock star. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
He's completely just. That's exactly what you would expect. He is who he is. Cool. I don't know if James Hetfield's wife is dating him or not, but she spent Thanksgiving with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Rock and roll's a tiny world, and we're incestuous as hell.
Yeah. See,
Not in that
that's-
way. Not in that way. We just, who else are
Yeah.
you going to date after you date musicians? So we have to keep dating each other.
Yeah. That's funny. So any of these rock stars went on to get married and do their wives have issue with you staying in contact, or
No, I mean, because once I knew they were married, I just that cuts them off sexually right there.
it was
But you
done?
still have a friend in the port, you still want that connection. You still need that sanity in the middle of this chaos,
Mhm.
So yeah, of course I'd still go out to dinner, and as a woman at home, no, it doesn't bother you because
Yeah.
there's a lot worse alternatives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remember your question, Matthew?
Oh no, I asked her about has she seen any more underage
Stuff?
at any point? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like I said, rock and roll is a very protective world, and you can tell, even the rock stars could tell someone who wasn't completely understanding or wasn't experienced in our world. So
Mhm.
they will treat her accordingly, respectfully, or him or her, whoever. It was never like I was on Ozfest one time. It was after I left Vegas, and Judas Priest was on the tour with them, so I'd gone down to Albuquerque, and there was a trans woman who was so afraid to come over and party with us because we were at the bar across the street, a bunch of us. And she
Mhm.
was so terrified. We're like, dude, the lead singer's gay. And she
Yeah.
went over there and she was like, wait a minute, I thought the heavy metal, they were going to just rip me apart and kick my ass. And no, she was the safest she had felt all night,
Oh, that's
you know?
cool.
And, that's rock and roll that I know. That's the rock and roll I know, that they're not going to hurt anybody. And if they know that you're not comfortable there, they're going to make sure you get comfortable.
Do you think
on
it's
your own
evolved
terms.
since then to something different? Because it seems like worse shit's happening now than the stuff that you're describing.
Yeah, because honestly, I think the internet has really kind of ruined human connection.
Mhm.
And I think people don't really things get really mixed up, and I what am I trying to say? Like Rammstein, they got in trouble last year because they would have girls under the stage, even though Def Leppard did the same thing back in the 80s.
Mhm.
I mean, I think there's a different culture about it now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people don't go through shit that they need to have justice for and be heard for, because it happens and they need to. But with rock and roll, there's really not much of a groupie scene anymore because everything's so corporate. And when COVID and all that hit, everybody separated, even when tours first started coming,
Mhm.
because you have to be tested now and immunized to
Mhm.
get insured by the tour insurance.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
forced them all to get the jab.
Yeah, that's like the tour insurance is huge. Like you have to go through physicals and pass a physical to be insured, even if you're a rock star roadie, as long as you're out on that road. They have OSHA, they have work laws to follow,
Yeah.
So
Chicken Snake saying, talk about the Christian band that are not so Christian.
Oh, Striper.
Mm.
Oh, the Christian band, not so Christian. Well, Tim was divorcing his ex-wife Valerie at the time, who was a stripper. And they were this band Striper, and my friend just wanted to go up and meet him. And I was like, all right, let's go meet him. We got out of the car, and my friend was their tour manager, so we ended up hanging out with them. And they were smoking weed, drinking Jack Daniels, like it was fucking communion, right?
Mhm.
And so we ended up going on the road with them. And in Vancouver, they were sneaking shots of whiskey into our beers, so we would get drunker. I'm like, dude, I'm already with you. I've been with you for a week. You don't need to do this. And yeah, and it was so funny because there were these like 13-year-old girls who had come up that were just like, I'm like, how did they even get into this room, you know, where we were all partying?
Mhm.
And they were like, oh yeah, when White Line was here last time, and then when Def Leppard came, they were just like name dropping like sons of bitches. We're like, no, ladies, no, you don't name drop. You
Mm-mm.
don't name drop.
Mm-mm.
They
No.
know, we just don't talk about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were
We don't.
kicked out. But yeah, I was on the road with Stryper for a couple of weeks on that tour, and I get a lot of flack from their fans because they're like, they're good Christian boys, you're lying. I'm like, no, honey, the only thing I was lying on was on my back while he was on top of me, okay?
Oh my. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Have you met Rob Zombie or Marilyn
Oh yeah,
Manson?
absolutely cool ass guy. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I used to sleep with his drummer Phil. Phil
Mhm.
since passed away, but yeah, I knew Rob Zombie in his White Zombie days.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought he was pretty cool. I've met Rob Zombie twice, and both times I was underage the first time, and the second time I wasn't. But he was super respectful both times. And I remember a couple of groupie girls came up, and because it was an accident. I went
Yeah.
back. We were at the front of the stage, at the very front. And it was all said and done, and my friend like left her ID or her wallet. We
Oh
were
no.
going back to find it, and
Yeah.
he came out and sat down on the stage with a beer. And he's like, "What's up?" And we're like, "Hi." You know, I was shitting bricks, but I mean, I'm like, I'm gonna be cool and be cool. You know, I felt like I was shaking like static on a TV. I mean, it's Rob Zombie. I love Rob Zombie, and but I knew he was married and I was underage, and these two groupies come up and they're like, you know, doing the stupid shit that
Those
some
are
of them
star
do.
fuckers. Groupies don't do stupid
Okay,
shit like
star
that.
fuckers. You know what I mean? Like they were
Yeah.
obviously like waiting for him to show up so they could jump his bones.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm married." And he's like, get these two out of here."
Yeah. And that's Rob, you know, that's who he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a lot of
No.
musicians I know, you know, it's like, that's rock and roll right there. Like you guys felt safe. He just came out, was like, what's up? That's
Yeah.
the rock and
Well,
roll
we
I
sat
know.
and talked. We didn't even, you want to know what we
He's
talked
quite
about?
intelligent and he's very interesting to talk to, you know.
He was cool to talk to, but we mainly talked about how he likes fried chicken and how there's differences between chicken, and he couldn't wait to get home so he could have good fried chicken. Like that's what he talked to us about.
You know
Was
what? And those are
fried chicken.
conversations we have. That's a normal
Yeah.
conversation in rock and roll. I always say, if you want to be a groupie, number one rule, don't talk about the music.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they
I
just
did.
got off work. You don't want to talk about your job. They don't talk to them about theirs, you know. They
And
have
that
a
makes
billion people
sense.
asking about it a day.
Yeah. I remember an interview I watched one time with Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he was in a restaurant and he sat in the back, and, you know, he had a hat on and he didn't want to deal with anybody.
Yeah.
He just wanted to eat his beans and rice. And I was thinking in my head, well, that's an odd, you know, like you go into a restaurant, you're hungry, you want to be left alone to eat food, and you just buy beans and rice. You don't get like enchiladas or anything with it. There's just beans and rice. And in the interview, he was like, sometimes you just want fucking beans and rice with no bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there eating, and somebody recognized him, and they came up and were like, "Oh, can we have your autograph?" And he said it was just like a snap, a breaking moment. And he like slams his plate. "Can I just eat my goddamn beans and rice?"
Yep,
And they
every
like
rock
walked off.
star, famous person has had that moment. 100%. I've seen it happen a couple times because you do get sick of it. You know, it's like, can I just be this guy who's out having lunch? You know, it's like trying to have a date with one of the musicians, and it's like, here comes some chick trying to hit on him in front of me. It's like, really? You know,
or dude trying to act like they got common ground.
Yeah, there's some drunk guy thinking that he owes it to them, or whoever owes what to them. It's like, you know what? Take a picture, ask for an autograph, respectfully leave. Just let him. You know, you don't want people disturbing you.
He just wants his beans and rice.
Yeah, you just want to have some downtime.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You know?
That's why I think it's smart that some rock stars or bands started out with masks. Because you get the fame
like
for the money.
Slipknot.
Yeah, you can still go out and go to Walmart.
Hold on, we've got a news break here.
What?
One of my trusted members in the chat
Oh
I
God.
said it's a great time to drop this right here. Let's see. I'm gonna blindly play it because I trust her. So let's.
Running for president: Bush, Trump, Clinton.
Oh
Okay,
my
you've heard of
God!
those names,
Oh,
but
no,
What are
wait.
you doing?
and his name is taking the internet by storm, and that name would be dun 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 dun. D's nuts. Yep, you heard me right. He is gaining traction in North Carolina with 9% of voters saying they'd vote for him.
Wow.
In a hypothetical race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, he would get 9.
All right. Well, there you have it.
What was the
There you
point of
have it.
that?
Yeah.
Probably Sean
Brother.
sent that to you.
It's part of the show. No, it was right there. It's part of the
No.
show.
Oh, this
Oh, I
one.
guess it's not
Well,
a good.
in the
Oh
state
my
of
God!
Utah, there was some guy in the
I read
ballot
that
this
now.
last year.
I read
Jesus, Satan, something. He lived in North Carolina, but for somehow was on the ballot in Utah only for president.
Oh wow.
His name was
That's
like Jesus McVaughn Satan or something like that.
great.
Least actually, it was a perfect time.
So tell me about Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn was really cool when I met him. They were mixing Antichrist Superstar in Las Vegas, and my friend and I just ran into Gingerfish at the Hard Rock one night. And he's like, "Yeah, you girls should come to the studio. We should do this." And we would just run around like this Club Gypsy, and I think it's the Art Bar. My friend Jesse owns it now. But anyway, and Jesse is the official Elvis in Las Vegas. But yeah, we used to just run around Las Vegas dancing, watching the Lucy drag show at the Gypsy, stuff like that, and just dancing all night with them. And never slept with any of them, but just hung out. Just happened to run into them for a few weeks while they were mixing it.
I've always heard that Marilyn Manson is actually way normal, very vanilla. Like he just wants to sit home and watch National Geographic. You know, like.
He definitely has. That's a lot of musicians, actually. You know, because we've all partied our asses off. We want to watch PBS sometimes. We all, you know, we have curious minds. But yeah, he's actually quite intelligent, quite thoughtful. You know, he definitely researches what he speaks about and stuff. But yeah, he's definitely a normal guy. Just
researches what he speaks about. Do you mean like in talking or in his lyrics?
All of the above.
Really?
He's just like the rest of us.
He scares me.
He scares me. And the only reason I say that, I've gone to a shit ton of concerts and from all genres, and I've had fun at a lot of them, and a lot of them were surprisingly extremely disappointing.
Well,
but the one concert that I actually was like, I shouldn't be here. Like, I need to leave. Like, something in me was saying, get the fuck out. And that was a Marilyn Manson concert.
But you're looking at a facade they are on stage. They're not that off stage. I always say, I don't date the rock stars on the stage. I don't date the facade. I date who they are off stage. And that's part of the character that he created. It's no different than Alice Cooper's character. It really is not. You know, it's no different than Kiss's characters.
It was, and it was stuff that was up on stage that I was seeing, and this he had the whole Nazi thing going on at that point.
That was, he got a lot, and he should have got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah, and it scared me, but it was not.
I think that's where he kind of realized. Because as an artist, you don't know what boundary, you know, it's like you try and push boundaries. And that was the wrong boundary.
That was a way out there boundary. And then it's just as much the crowd that showed up to watch him was scary. I have never seen anybody with 666 tattooed on them. And I mean, I saw a bunch of them like across their forehead.
Ozzy had it on his knuckles. It's just that 666 was a rock and roll thing that made you look cool back in the 80s, you know, like Motley Crue has it on their album covers. You know, it was just a symbol of rock and roll. Like people are like, there's a bunch of fucking Satanists. It's like, no, they're not actually.
So wait, so 666 doesn't mean Satan? Wait.
To people it does, yeah, because that's something society told you that it means, but you look at rock and roll back in the day, and you have Motley Crue and the PMRC saying, "Look, you've got six,
Well,
six, six with in the metal thingy." You know,
I don't think that.
I
yeah.
thought 666 really had a meaning though. I thought that was actual.
supposedly it
Could be
does,
wrong.
but
I could be
I mean
wrong.
that's a whole subject that I don't even cross into. You know, that's because
No.
I've traveled the world. I've studied many, many
Mm.
different religions. I've
Mhm.
sat at the fucking tree of
Mm.
life in Bahrain. You know,
Mhm.
it's I
So is
practiced
it is it
Islam for 12 years before I
so
realized.
is it safe to say there's a lot of posing going on?
Yeah, it became a symbol of rock and roll more than it did Satanism. It showed that you were down and dirty and dangerous, you know, and that's all it really was in rock and roll. Like I said, the guys in Slayer aren't Satanists, you know. I mean, Metallica never was. Jimmy Page did not sell his motherfucking soul. You know, I mean, he might have owned Aleister Crowley's house, but just bought it out as a novelty, really.
Yeah. So did you see any shit that ever you're like, oh, like these guys are into some dark shit or anything?
No, not a single
Nothing.
time. Not a single time.
That's crazy.
Nope. They're just normal guys off the stage. People get the facade that they put on for the rock show mixed
Mhm.
up with the reality off stage. They're two totally different things.
Yeah.
Like when I'm with the rock star, I'm with the Manny is off stage. You put that rock star in your road case in the dressing room, load it up on Club Rider, and move it on. When I'm with you, you're the man you are off stage. And the
Mhm.
facades are exactly that. Like, look at Alice Cooper plays as dangerous, you know, facade on stage, but he's sober and plays golf off. I mean, there's been a golf game going on in rock and roll for 30 years.
Loved
Mhm.
Alice Cooper as a kid.
Yeah, he was interesting, right? I mean, Billion Dollar Baby's great.
Nothing to do with his music though. As a kid, I saw a picture with a fucking snake coming out of his mouth, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what?" Favorite guy.
Yeah.
Don't know who that is, but it's a snake.
Yeah, but
coming out of
he
his mouth.
doesn't own snakes at home either. You know, it's not like he has a house like Slash,
Well,
where Slash
saw
had the
a
whole
snake.
reptile room.
Keep in
Does
mind,
he
though,
really?
there
Yeah,
was a
Slash
picture.
has a reptile room. Yeah.
Ooh.
No thanks.
Nope,
Okay.
I'm in.
Yeah,
You
no, I
want to go
don't
see
like
my
snakes.
reptiles? Yes, I
No,
do.
no snakes for me. No, thank you.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Did Slash ever have kids? I don't even know.
Yeah, he had kids with Perla, his ex-wife, second ex-wife.
Mm.
They're grown
he's-
now, I believe. She had 2 or 3 kids with her,
That's
and they're
crazy.
grown. I believe
How
they're
old
at
is
least
he
in their
now?
20s. Oh, I'm 55, so he's got to be close to 60.
I've not even honestly seen any recent pictures of him. I need to Google.
He looks the same. He
Does
hasn't
he?
aged. Still wears the hat, still wears the jeans.
He is so
On a
handsome, in my
guitar.
opinion. And I
He's
love
a
that
good
top
looking
hat.
guy. He still looks great. And he's one of the nicest people. I mean, we knew his name was Saul Hudson before the rest of the world because we had the rooming lists.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I think he's a darling. Who is sending me stuff? Oh, okay. They're asking questions. So what was the Guns N' Roses album that you met and hung out with them on? I want to
Well, I
say
first met him during Appetite of Destruction, but I hooked up with
Okay.
Axel during Use Your Illusion. And the
Mhm.
man is so like
Wow.
smoked so much cigarettes that after he was done going down on me, I thought my vajayjay was gonna blow smoke
All right.
green.
Wow.
He was like nicotine, like he smelled nothing but nicotine. And I was like, oh, dude. And I was a
That's so
smoker at the time, you know.
Hmm.
Yep.
Chicken, can she see chat? What does he want? Chicken snake. And he said it's time for the elevator story. That one's my favorite.
Get stuck in the elevator with Motley Crue.
It's such a Spinal Tap moment. It's fucking great.
It was because they weren't in town the night before, so me and Kristen went up, and she had to work today, so she couldn't make it. She did want to come on, but so we went up and we knocked on the tour bus door at fucking 9:00 in the morning, and this roadie opens up the door. He's like, "What?" And he sees 2 girls, and we're like, "Hi, we're the Salt Lake City Welcoming Committee." And then next thing you know, we're with the tour manager, meeting up with Tommy, Nikki, and Mick and stuff, and just and it's not even noon yet, I don't think. because sound check was at 4:00 and we left that hotel room at 3:30, just with fucking 2 sheets to the wind, if not 3, wasted beyond belief. I don't know how he even played the show that night, but we were going down in the elevator and we're just talking, laughing, having a good time. We're like, why is this taking so long? We're like on the 4th floor, and we couldn't figure out why it was taking so long. And we figured out we were stuck in the elevator. So I picked up the phone that's in the elevator, and I called room service because I didn't know what other number to call. And I'm like, yeah, can we get a bunch of Jack Daniels in the elevator? And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we're stuck in the elevator. And then she's like, what? And so we're there for like 20 minutes. I'm trying to be calmed down, Kristen and we're all trying to break open the elevator door, and all of a sudden it opens up and 2 guys look down the elevator techs and they're like, oh, it's just Motley Crue, they're groupies, let's leave them in there. And those doors shut. And we were like,
No.
what? I mean, we were out 2 minutes later, but
She smokes Primos. It's weed with some cocaine sprinkled.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not a Primo? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's vape juice, tres leches, and this is the second day in a row I've been asked about this. Everybody gets those disposable mods, like the one that what's his name, Matthew uses. They're just the disposable ones you buy at the store and you use them and throw away. This is what people used to use. What? This is a box mod, takes 2 batteries, and the tank comes off the coils inside.
There's my name right there in case you forget.
Yeah, Matilda. And then you just refill the tank with your juice of choice. It's just 3% nicotine. It's not salt, Nick. It's old school. I carry around a bottle of batteries.
A fire stick or a fire stick remote.
I tried those disposable vapes that y'all use, and they're all salt, Nick. And dude, I don't know how y'all do that, because I use 3% nicotine in my juice. That's it, if not 0. And
5 at least. Yeah,
salt, Nick, a 5% is 50 milligrams of nicotine. 50.
Yes, let's go. Ready?
I can't. My son was like, "Oh, try this one. It tastes so good." And I'm like, "Is this one gonna hurt me?" And he was like, "It shouldn't." So I hit it like I hit this thing, and I was choking and tears coming out. And I'm like, "That's fucking salt."
Oh, damn.
It's like, yeah, no, I can't. I'm a big wuss when it comes to that. I don't need a lot. Just 3% is good for me, and 3% of real nicotine, not salt, salt nicotine. Whatever.
I quit smoking cigarettes a year and a half ago.
I stopped in 2012. My friend got me a vape for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I put my cigarette out. I took it off my vape, and I've never gone back.
I never liked the vape. I just, decided to quit smoking last year. Just quit.
Just quit. Yeah. I was always able to stop. When I found out I was pregnant, I put my cigarettes in the freezer and go on about my business. But I don't know.
Hey, Alycen, you were raised by Freemasons, right?
My grandfather, and like all the women in my family were part of the Masons, and
there was a few conversations me and Juju have had with women who've grown up in Masonry, and sometimes they have really terrible things that have happened to them. Did anything happen?
Never, not once. And I think the people that say that make it up, to be honest, because I've been around it my whole life. It's a charitable organization. That's all it is. Shriners Hospital, Mason. I mean,
Tarnation.
But no, never once. I'm still friends with all my sisters from, back then. I'm still friends with our dead mother. It's a very strong organization.
It's good to hear that not everybody has bad experiences with that, because we've heard quite a few bad ones. So
really
good to hear you didn't have to go through anything.
No, I mean, you go through the initiation, which is like just, ritual words, and, you go through the stations and you work for charity. Basically, that's what it's all about. Learning how to be charitable, to be there as women for each other and stuff like that. It's nothing wrong.
Lone Star, would you stop it? Enough. Somebody time out Lone Star for 10 seconds, please. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Well, I know you've received, you know, some a little bit of backlash. How much of it to your face? Any of
Oh,
it?
all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Like someone will say the hooker with John Entwistle when he dies. I'm like, hi, that's me and I was never a hooker. Oh, fuck you, bitch. You know, all the time.
God
Because,
bless.
well, because people have a preconceived notion of groupies. You know, they think if it's Almost Famous and she was a muse, it's okay. But none of those women ever had fucking songs written about them, right? I mean, they don't know how to
Has,
take a woman that owns her sexuality like a man, so to speak.
has anybody tried to go out of their way to force you to think you're a victim? You know, look, we'll go together. We'll go seek help and we'll go tell together. Has anybody
Oh, yeah.
gone?
All
Yeah.
the time, especially in the soft white underbelly comments. It's like, oh my God, she's such a victim and she doesn't know. And it's like, no, I'm not. Again, I stand by victims. We all have had experiences. We all know somebody, but with rock and roll, that was not my experiences. And like I said, it drives me nuts because people are so lost in their own ego that they need to tell you who they want you to be. It is a boxed in society, you know, genre. And it's
So
like,
so you don't see it from both sides. You don't even.
I do see it from both sides. It's just that's not my side. I'm not telling your story
Well,
for
yeah.
you. I'm not telling someone they're a mouth breathing idiot for their beliefs, you know, for their experiences.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
You know,
basically, you are standing on you definitely are not a victim. You never
yeah,
felt like one, and you're not one. So
no was always no. I would
you're standing
never,
up.
no was always respected. If I wanted to go home, I would call my mom and she would wake her ass up at 3 o'clock in the morning and come get her girls, you know, because she would take care of all of us. You know, all of our moms were there. I was raised by strong women. My mom used to sneak out, go sing backup with the band and go skinny dipping later. You
Hey
know,
now,
my grandmother, who was a very prestigious woman in the society world, was knocked up when she married my grandpa. You know, I mean, so what? So what? You know, people have their own story. Let them tell it. Let them be it
Mm-hmm.
and learn from it, or connect with it. You know what I mean?
If you had a child, if you had a daughter right now, when she said, I want to go do what you did, what would your reaction to that be? What would you
Hell
say
no,
to
because you're
her?
not going to sleep with the same man I did. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I wouldn't be able. It was like my mom. She was not real excited that her daughter was, you know, becoming a famous groupie, but she
Mhm.
was there for me, 100%.
Right, right.
You know, if I was hungover with my friend Danny one morning after hanging out with Motley Crue and Skid Row, and I was throwing everything up, that woman drove down to Hardee's and got us greasy burgers. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, she didn't like it, and we talked a lot about it, but she was just there because she was a good mom,
Right, right.
and she knew a lot of them. She came, I years later in 2003, I took her backstage to Metallica.
So then what would you have to say to your daughter if she wanted to do it?
To wait till you're 18, if not 21.
Mm.
You know, I mean,
Mm.
and it's the people think because I was so focused on that. My senior year in high school, I was in beauty college in the day, high school at night, working at Burger King and partying with bands. So it's not like I was just some derelict, you know. I
Yeah,
had my plans. I was intelligent. I just lived a life on my own terms,
right.
you know. That's all you can do.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Daisy. We're just interviewing Alycen Rowse. She is a famous groupie, and she's telling us some of her stories of things that she's done in her life.
Yeah.
So, in closing, what would you like to say to everyone that's watching?
You know what? Don't discount the groupies like we're not humans. We're not novelties. We're human beings. Don't be, you know, judging people when you're throwing glasses, you know, stones in a glass house. But you know what? Just live true to yourself. Live a kind life. Live true to yourself, and don't be afraid to be you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
And
all.
wrap it. Use protection.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, in the '80s, we were inundated with it. I would carry There was one night I was trying to break a condom off. You know how they come in the 6 all joined together?
Mhm.
I was trying to break one off. I was in the back lounge with this bass player that I was, and I went to go yank it out of my purse because, you know, just thought the one condom, and all 6 came out. He's like, "Are we going to have that busy of a night?" I'm like, "Let's give it a go." So always give it a go, but use protection.
It reminds me of that Snoop Dogg song when he said, "I got a whole bunch of condoms in my homeboys."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a pocket full of rubbers. Yeah.
Boys do too. Yeah. That was
That's
funny.
funny.
Snoop Dogg's cool.
He was cool when I knew him. Like I said, that was my Vegas years, and we
Mhm.
just would hang out, and he would come in, and I'd see Rob, the dealer that he introduced me to, and we'd be all in the bouncy cars. Just, yeah, totally cool guy back then.
That's awesome.
I don't know him now. That was 20 years ago, you know.
Yeah. Well, now he's a dad and a grandpa. I'm sure he's not any worse than he was. I liked him. I always thought he was cool. The one
Yeah.
in Nothing with Ice Cube.
Not Ice Cube, Ice T. I hung out with a few
Ice-T.
times.
Mhm.
And it was really cute because Vern, one of the guys that played in Body Count with Ice T,
Mhm.
who sadly passed away of leukemia. God, that was so sad. There was a picture of them up in the Hard Rock Hotel, which is a big deal to have, you know, anything to do with your band hanging up at the Hard Rock Hotel, you know, at the Hard Rock in general. And we were just standing there, and he was just so proud that he was, you know, he was in a display at the Hard Rock. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I thought that is awesome for him, you know. I thought that was one of the coolest things.
That is.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd say.
Well, I think I've covered all of my notes. I can't think I have. Oh,
Uh-oh.
are we going to talk
Uh-oh.
about Adam Sandler?
Oh yeah, that was a lot.
Let me unbutton this again. Hold on, wait a minute.
It was the Easter weekend in Vegas, and the Hard Rock was just dead as hell because, you know, it's Easter weekend.
Mhm.
So my friend Lisa and I, who was my roommate at the time, crazy Lisa, she and I were standing there, and we had a couple glasses of champagne. We're like, this doesn't look like fun. There's nobody here. Let's just go home. And all of a sudden, this little short guy comes up, and it's Rob Schneider. And he's like, hey, me and my friends are a bunch of famous actors. Want to come party with us? And Lisa was like, yeah, I know who you are. Let's go party. And I was like, wait, what's going on? And then
Mhm.
Rob Schneider looks at me and goes, I love athletic girls. I'm like,
Oh, he used the
I don't
famous
think so.
actor line. Oh.
Yes. And I was just like, Lisa took off on it. And I was like, and the next thing I know, we're upstairs having champagne, smoking weed with Adam, Rob Schneider, Alan Covert, the dark-haired guy, and then all the movies, and the director for Happy Gilmore, because Happy Gilmore had just come out a couple days before. And next thing you know, we're all naked. Everybody's just all over everybody. I've got Alan Covert on the balcony for the first time.
Hey now.
You know,
Wow. And y'all are just going at it. That's
just having a good old weekend. It was the whole Easter weekend. It wasn't just one night.
That's funny.
Yep. Good time. Good time, Adam Sandler.
That's the one that I was like, wait, what? What?
And what is it? Is it who is Rob Schneider's daughter? That's the singer. What's her name?
L something?
Yes, Elle King.
Yeah.
So Elle King, there's your dirt on your dad. She don't like him
I know, and I wondered why, but she really
because
does
he's
not
a
like
piece
him.
of shit to her. He was a
And
piece of shit.
He has another daughter also, and I saw her on a podcast somewhere. I want to say it was Dumb Blonde, but I don't know if it was or not. But she does not have anything good to say about her daddy.
Because you know what? Like I said, if you're going to sit there and have a holier than thou attitude, you better not have the dirty secrets that I just told about him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like a hypocrite. Like I said, I've been fortunate to live a life where I don't have to hide anything. I've always just been, this is me, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know, it's freedom in that.
And I don't know why I have this written down. Maybe it's something that one of the guys said to you.
Uh-oh.
A hole is a hole is a hole. A soul is a soul.
No. That's totally not what it sounds like. David Lee Roth is like, he's one of the nicest people. And he's like, you know what? He's like, when it comes to sex and stuff, he's like, a hole is a hole. But when it comes to love, it's a soul is a soul.
That's okay. And I was like, wait a minute. Because the way that I heard an asshole's or a hole's a hole is a hole. A soul is a soul. I was like,
Yeah.
but the middle part was missing, so that's what.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, not Gutenberg. No, not Gutenberg.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
dude.
You hooked up with Goody?
Well, that was at
Who's
the VH1
my
golf
homie?
tournament after party in Vegas, and it was when
Wow.
Brian Setzer debuted his swing band, which was an awesome swing band. And me and my best friend, cousin Amy from Vegas, she and I were just walking by the joint when it was like a 3,000 seater. It was just a tiny little club at the time at the Hard Rock, and there was a party going on. And the security guards were like, "Hey, ladies, you need to be in the party." We were like, "Okay, sure, we'll go in." And we all knew the bartenders, grabbed some champagne, and this guy comes over, starts talking to us, and here comes Steve Gutenberg, and we're both wearing these little mini skirts, because we were hotties back then. No underwear, and all of a sudden Steve comes between us. He's got his arms around us and his hands just start moving down, and we're just kind of like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden I just feel his hand cupping my cheeks under my skirt, and I kind of look over at cousin Amy, and she's like, yeah, same thing over here. And then we didn't leave with them, but he called us later that night. We had phone sex.
Oh, and who is this guy?
3 Men and a Baby. Steve Gutenberg. He was in what's the ones with the cop?
Police Academy.
Yes, the Police Academy with the.
Yeah. You don't remember
Ew.
Gutenberg? He was the main character.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's America's sweetheart, but then he's a dirty boy behind it. They're all dirty boys behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They all are.
Oh, back in the day. I'm looking at
I mean, I've
pictures
been
right
made out
now.
with Neil Diamond, for fuck's sake.
Wow.
I turned him down sleeping with him, but I just wanted to, smoked weed, drank, and made out with Neil Diamond.
I think there's a woman we had here that not her claim to fame. I'm kidding when I say that, but she said she made out with Gene Simmons.
Oh, I'm glad she didn't do anything more, because I've seen him in the dressing room. That is an acorn in a cotton patch. There's a reason that man had that time.
God doesn't give everybody everything.
No, but like I said, he's got his tongue, so that's a blessing, I hope. Now his drummer Card that I was with,
What?
he was big. I figured if I could get my mouth around it, it'd be okay everywhere else. But no.
Who?
Eric Carr, he was a drummer at Kiss. He died of cancer.
Oh, okay.
Everybody I know dies.
Yeah. So can I ask you a super inappropriate question that you can tell
Absolutely.
me to fuck off? What's your body count?
78 total.
78? That's it?
That's it. Under 100.
I really thought it was going to be a lot more.
Well, the book is only half the story, and I'm not writing about the bands I just hung out with. I'm not writing about the punk years.
You looked up with Mick Jagger too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That man's a beautiful mouth. Love it.
Damn.
So clap.
Nice. Wow. I'm trying to think of who.
Heck yeah. If Mama wanted something, Mama got it.
Clearly.
What people are like, oh, she thinks she's all that. It's like, no, I don't think I'm all that. I have a big nose, but I have a nice ass and pretty eyes, right? But you know what? Betting a rock star is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Give him a couple drinks, they're yours. No, I'm kidding. So kidding.
No, you ain't kidding. No, you ain't.
No,
you're not kidding. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to thank you for coming out and taking part and wasting your time with us.
No, I didn't waste it. Thank you guys for having me on here. It's been a blast. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Sean, for introducing us.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again, because we hear there is a second book coming out. So.
There is, and it's going to be all emotional, down and dirty, getting into the nitty gritty.
So you're going to come back and talk to us when that drops?
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm going to release it next month.
Next month? Okay.
Yep.
All
Yep.
Right. Perfect. Okay. Do you know when next month?
I've got 3 chapters to finish, and as soon as those are done, yeah, because I walked away from a really great agent out of New York and a couple really awesome offers, because I wanted to stay true to my voice. I didn't want to make my story almost famous or anything. So I was one of the early self-publishers in the world. And thank you, Mackenzie Scott, for making Amazon the best place for self-published independent authors,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Lise has one more question. She said, please ask her if she heard of Vernon Ice Black.
Is that the drummer I was talking about from Body Count?
I don't know.
Because that's the Vernon I know, or is he a roadie? Because I knew a couple roadies with the name Vernon.
Were any of them called Ice also? I think
I'm
Ice
not
is like a
100% sure. I'd have to go back because I think the last time I saw that Vernon was in the 90s when I was living in Seattle.
Okay. So probably not, at least.
Maybe I'd have to see a picture because I've crossed paths with so many people. You know, rock and roll, as small as it is, there's a lot of us hanging around. You know, and the road crews are massive.
Vernon Ice. He's a guitar player.
Then unless it's the Vernon I know from Body Count, then no.
Looks like he's
Hold on, let me see. Let me look him up.
Guitarist out of California.
yeah.
Vernon Ice Brown.
Black.
No, Vernon Ice Brown, not Ice Brown. Not the choreographer.
Yeah, he's a black guy. With
Okay, then
dreadlocks.
that's the Vernon from Body Count. That I would assume that's the Vernon from Body Count. I know. Let me come on, let's search it. Go back. Okay. I don't know. He looks familiar because I also meet a lot of other musicians when I'm with rock stars. Like I met the bass player of U2, who I had a thing with for years because I was backstage with another musician. So
Yeah, I loved you too.
they were good. Let me see. Vernon Ice Brown band.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. No clue.
Mm-mm.
He looks like he was. Let me go here. Let me go to his IMDb. He looks like someone I did meet, but then again, I've hung out with Ziggy Marley's bands and stuff. So there's been so many bands. Like I don't even.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll be interviewing Lise next. Apparently, we're interviewing the secret life of Lise.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, and whenever that next book is released, let me know so I can go find it and listen to it. And
I
then we'll
will.
have you back.
Okay, cool beans. And again, thank you guys for having me on. It's been fun. It's really great to get to know you guys.
Definitely.
Thanks for
Thank you.
taking time out. Appreciate it.
All right, cheers, you guys. Bye.
Later. All right. Well, that was awesome. Just like I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right, she's gone. Let's talk about her now, guys. She's gone. Okay, I'm kidding.
Stop.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know, maybe, just maybe, we can have another live at some point discussing this live.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I know there's some people that disagree with certain things. So maybe we can have a conversation where we ain't gotta have Chicken Snake being security in the chat. Yeah,
Awesome.
right? Hey, bro, the Rock's days, they over, bro. You don't have to be secure. I bet you Chicken Snake's got a security shirt on right now.
You better stop.
Big old security in the back.
It's funny.
That's funny. Uh-oh.
Oh, and that's so big. That's what I was reading.
A little hotel night before entering. It was a band, was passed out, and oh, yeah, sure. You screamed and ran to another. Yeah, okay. We'll be interviewing Nessa after Lise for the real story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lise, Chicken Snake, and Alycen are good friends. They've known each other, I think, since 1989, and he introduced us, and I've been listening to her book. And I tried to get it done today, but I swear I still have a long. I may be halfway through it right now. but you can find it on Audible and Amazon, and it's We Have Tonight by Alycen Rowse. Every girl had to have Mick Jagger.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. All right, I got dishes and stuff to do. Man,
Okay. Well, have fun, y'all.
it's messed up. Appreciate it once again, Juju.
Definitely. Anytime.